that.
You know, they got a theory. It's called I forgot what it's not theory, a hypothesis. The melanin theory or some shit. I forget, yo, but they be making fun of black people.
Hey, oh shit.
You know, they got a theory.
All right, hold on.
You went live.
Let me mute this out. All right, here we go. We live and direct, man. Black African power. What's good? What's happening? Well organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. God killer in the house. Come to do, we got to do, we're gonna do, we got to do. We standing tall, standing strong. Look, man, pseudo killers on deck. What's good, family, man? Look, I'm gonna put the link out there for the regulars to jump on when it's time. You feel me? Uh, I just wanted to do something real quick, fast. You know what I mean? Get to the point here. Y'all know what the title is, man. The harmful effects of our hidden colors, man. I see you. You know what I'm saying? What's good, X? What's up with you, brother? How you doing, man?
Man, just ready to get this some education tonight and give off some too.
Yeah, yeah, it's valuable, man. Um, let me see. Let me shout out the people in the chat room real quick. Let's see who in the chat room, X. First of all, man, hey, I gotta shout out to Sister Kaba. Kaba the Great. Let me shout her out, man. What's good, Sister Kaba? Appreciate you always there, man. Um, Appreciate that. All right. Shout out to the Shaw Shoot Monty Metanucci, man. They live right now, man. I know they asking some good questions over there. You know what I mean? And I won't be mad if y'all go flow over there. Yeah, they should be on. But I'm here, right here. Got Greg. What's good, Greg? What's happening with you, man? How you doing, man? Man, pseudo killers on deck, bro. Hey, Greg, you know what, Greg? I want to give you the goddamn link, Greg. I know you around here. I'm gonna give you the link in there, yo. Just don't have them weirdos jump on with you, yo. All right. I think you got a little problem with little vaccines too. You can just be the punching bag for the evening, yo. What's up, Omar Reed? What's good with you? What's up, man? Cedric? What's good? Now I might not read your whole name because that shit might be a little bit hard and I don't want to butcher it up. Is that Ortega? Did I say that right? Got that right, Cedric Ortega. What's up with you? All right, I see you, Mac G. What's up with you? What's this? Mongo Slave 2231. What's up? Yeah, I was trying to hold back because the Shashi Money Netter was on, man. And I don't like to bleed on them like that, bleed over on their thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of different, we bring family shows and, I try to, give everybody a little of their space. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to build this joint, man. I've been highly motivated lately. Athena, last year, did I say that right? I said I wasn't going to butcher your name, but I did. Black African Power, for everybody to understand what Black African Power is. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Who else we got in here?
Hey yo, I never asked you what that meant. I have no
What?
idea what you mean by that. I'm just guessing.
Black African Power?
Wait, give me.
Because fundamentally speaking, all humans on Earth, you know what I'm saying, fundamentally speaking, is African. So and I just like to make a distinction. When I say Black African Power, man, I'm talking about Black Africans in America, the African Americans, really. You know what I'm saying? But to be, to distinguish it Black, because you got people, Europeans is born in Africa. You know what I'm saying? South Africa, what would you call them? African, right? Born and raised in Africa. Say
Nationality
Black
wise,
African American, make a distinction. You say, brother?
I say yeah, nationality wise. Let me. What are you communicating when you say Black African power though? Like what
Only
do you?
African Americans really use African Americans really use the term black. They don't denote much of nothing but just being an African American. I think that's the term that really came up with us. And so when I say Black African power, that means you need some scientific literacy. Just saying it ain't enough, and it needs to be an action.
Gotcha.
Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. And Jetty, what's good, bro? You got the link? What? Nah. I ain't doing that. Stop that. I ain't doing that. I know the rules. Shit. Come on, bro. You know the rules. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm live. All right, that was some Jetty. He coming through, man. He be doing his work, doing what he do, man. Say so. I think X man. I think really what I'm communicating is just black people. I don't want to get it confused since everybody's fundamentally African. I don't mean European Africans.
That's the reason I asked you.
I mean that. Go ahead.
Now, the reason I had asked you was because I had read an article one time,
Hmm.
and it was talking about how the chant "Black Power" is a racist slur.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I didn't want. That's why I didn't go that route. I don't want that being played out at all. Yep. Good
Like
point. I
it
wanted to
basically,
kind of push away from that.
what they were trying to say in the article was that by chanting that right there, you're saying for black people to be on top, dominating everybody else. Like it's like it's a promotion of black supremacy.
Right. No, that's not where I'm at with it at all, man.
That's
Nope.
why I was asking you when you say that. What are you saying? Like for black people, it's just a chant to communicate to black people to become scientifically literate.
Yeah, for sure. That's the only way you have power in the world, man. And I think me and we understand it the best. People in the chat. Jelana, what's going on with you? Like African power. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? All that promoting one group over another, that's crazy. The cream gonna rise to the top. You're gonna be where you're gonna be at. Feel me? You can't do it. Hitler tried to do it. It was crazy. Am I spelling melanin wrong, man?
You
You're a
said,
funny dude too, yo.
"Oh,
You-
that
Vital force. What they say? Vital force.
nigga said." Layla said Layla said that shit is life force.
Melanin is life force. So
Yeah,
listen, man.
it's called the melanin theory. You gotta look into that shit. The
You're right.
melanin.
No, you're right. Hold on, dude. You just came across some. Hold on. Wait a minute. This is when the community officially got pseudo.
Yeah,
Get the doctor, yo, who had the melanin. The melanin. I think he created the melanin theory, yo, and all the elders followed that shit, man. You know what I'm talking about?
you talking about what's his name? What's that? I think Sharif tried to use his work one
You're
time.
gonna have to get him.
What's his name?
You're gonna have to get him. Yeah, he pseudorized the whole community. He got everybody on that.
Oh yeah.
That's James Falls, watch this,
Oh,
Francis Cress Rousing.
I
You
didn't know
got
she that.
it,
He
man.
caught Dr. Cress Wilson was out there on that.
Don't you got the rest up, rest in peace,
Of
lovely
course.
sister. Do you got the ISIS paper? How many of y'all got the ISIS paper out there?
No, I don't have that. I just know that was one of her work. I never
I
read
think
it.
I might got two of them. I'm gonna send you one, yo.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, she got
What's
wrapped up in that. So let me say this to y'all first of all, man. So normally I like to call names and all that shit. I don't want to do that no more. Not in this moment, because there's a moment when you realize, hold on, stop again. This is serious right here. We're getting a little serious now. It's time to get serious. The pseudos have overran the position. Definitely outdone us. We got 45,000 people in here. All right. Um. Yeah. Shout out to Sonetta for bashing the Bible thumpers. Master, I see you, Master. Ali, did I say that right? Probably didn't. Sean, what's good? Josh, you, Monty, Metanetra, Mossy Clan Warrior. What's good with you? Um, what else? We got Indonesia, 5,000. I know I ain't gonna be able to say this right. What's that right there? X. She's
she's
Kim.
she.
Biki.
I think she tried to put. She's simply unique.
Oh shit. Okay, she's simply yeah, that was a good one. All right. I want to get that right. Robert Rand, what's up with you? Okay. I see you, Jeff Jack, Black African Power. So let me tell you, sometimes, right, and check what I'm saying, X. Sometimes we spend so much time debating back and forth with each other. I mean, we do it because we sparring. And I mean, hell, yo, shit, you gotta get your groove on, yo. You know what I mean, yo? Like
So
this is what we do.
I told
Yeah.
you the debating is healthy because that shit itself acts damn near like a damn vaccine. It stops niggas from being able to continue. That's what it does. And prior, like I told you, with the '70s era, niggas was just giving lectures. It
Yeah.
won't no dialogue. Niggas was just monologuing. And so that's why
Thank God.
you got all them old niggas talking that crazy shit, and it survived all the way into my era. This shit is crazy. That's why I be stopping old niggas real quick. As soon as you start saying something crazy, I stop you. I ain't letting that shit go.
Jay Carter.
That
What's
melanin
good?
theory, man. That melanin theory.
Let's look that up. Can you pull that up real quick?
Yeah,
Let me say this. I want to get this off my chest, y'all. Watch
I'm,
this.
I'm gonna
So
share my
you
screen while
know,
you talk.
all right. So yeah, man, I always felt like that the Raw squad was the top notch, yo. I did, man. And that whole group up thing, man. We like put that into flourishing, right? Like, I kind of understood it was gonna be a moment like this, and so I wanted to be ahead of the curve. And I'm gonna tell you about the moment. Um, I knew that, like the young brother was talking about, just the people, single people doing lectures. I knew once that technology really got the rolling, that wasn't going to be enough. So the technology was going to be in the hands of everybody. Back then, you had to read books, had to go to libraries. Everybody wasn't doing it. Everybody couldn't kick that shit whether it was right or wrong. Everybody wasn't going to the library like right now. But now it's at the tip of your fingertips. That's why everybody can just jump on this joint and think they super nice. And everybody got a damn opinion. Check this out, man. You can't have an opinion on something that you cannot do. Shut up. All right. So I realized that I was outmatched. And I knew I was gonna have to get people together. And then you start to see the phenomenon of groups being formed. You know what I'm saying? Uh Based around some real information, okay? Like evolution, right? And I knew this moment was gonna come. I knew that the fucking pseudos was gonna overrun the goddamn fortress, and I knew it. But I seen it, and I knew it was happening, right? And I wanted to make sure we was prepared, right? And it happened fast. Sometimes you wait and it happened fast, right? And so, I don't want to knock, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to get no, watch this. I don't want no rep, right? Off of somebody else's like documentary or something. See, I feel like what we gonna do, gonna stand on this goddamn own. You know what I'm saying? So y'all read the title real close, right? And y'all gonna know what's really going on. I'm gonna read it again, right? The harmful effects of our hidden colors, right? So y'all already gonna know what it is. Y'all know what it is. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. The pseudos, right? Man, they playing hardball and they in the goddamn big leagues. You can say what you want to say. Man, I love the Raw squad. I love the Mossy, Shashu, Marty Metanecha. You know what I'm saying? MBK, feel me? Love them. Trust me when I tell you this, right? Dagger squad, man. But man, we in triple goddamn A, man. Sometimes you gotta know there's the big league and then there's triple A. Sometimes you can get a hell of a game in triple A. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, good ass game to watch. You even hear people say, man, shit, I'd rather watch a college basketball game. Shit, I'd rather, you know what I'm saying? Rather watch college football, I like that better. I'm saying these pseudos is in a goddamn pros. And we somewhere in fucking our last year college some goddamn where or fucking double triple A. I'm at least be triple A. You know what I'm saying? But to actually think we're in the big league, that's a bunch of bullshit. Right? So sometimes, right, you gotta know when you being outdone. And you gotta admit it. And I say this all the time. So I'm in that moment, yo. That really, I know we super nice, but don't nobody else really think that. Trust me when I tell you. See, in the day's age of technology and information at your fingertips, right? You got to understand the platforms. Let me tell you who was a master of developing a platform. Truth hurt. Buzz Lightyear. Young nigga whipped our ass when it came to that. Information was doo-doo.
Uh,
Garbage.
rat shit.
He gave the religious swagger to it with the young shit, and y'all put him right here. No matter how hard I beat that nigga up, I knocked that nigga into stardom. Don't figure that. He ain't, hold on, let's get this straight now. He ain't the motherfucking big leagues, though. He ain't there. He's not the big leagues, right? He's not that. I'm not gonna give him that. He's not that. But man, just the amount of views and shit he get, you know what I'm saying? Just all of that, man. Man, he has used technology to his advantage, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I think Buzz Lightyear was doing this thing before he even came across anybody. I think his viewership was up. From what I heard, I got to go back and
Oh,
look at
he's
this shit.
lying.
But I
He
think
ain't lying. He ain't
nah,
getting.
I'm serious. I'm serious, B.
No.
He got bigger when y'all knocked him into damn superstardom.
Yeah.
Y'all
He
definitely
had something going. He did have something going.
yeah, that's what
So
I'm
he
saying.
not gonna superstar. That's Sanjetti. What's going on, Sanjetti?
What's up? What's good?
Hey man, goddamn man, I got Young X on here, man. He hate the word young, but shit. Y'all not gonna fight on this show, but y'all gonna fight. I don't know when.
Yeah,
It's
we
going to
definitely
happen. I'm letting you know early in the game.
yo, peace and Jetty. I don't know you, but peace, bro.
It won't happen on this show tonight. But when I call you up with him, he gonna be saying, "Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about." I'm gonna let you know that right now, Sanjetti.
What's Jetty be into besides biology? Because I don't
All
think.
kind of shit. Ready to argue with your ass. African spirituality. Y'all gonna get
Oh
it in.
yeah, we
Y'all
definitely
gonna get it in.
You're right.
All right.
I mean, damn, you. I mean, I ain't even meet the brother yet.
I have to tell you the truth. Let me just fair warn your ass. I'm gonna do that. Shit.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, a PC brother X. I'm not. Is that how you prefer to be referred to,
Yeah,
or what?
X architect. But you call me X, I don't mind. Like we good like that.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah,
see, we good. We good.
Y'all ain't good, man. Watch, y'all is not good.
I said, Jetty, I start out with everybody like that, and then boom, we into it. I think I argue with everybody on the.
You gonna, hey yo, I'm gonna tell you what you gonna do to him, Daddy. You gonna slow this shit down. You gonna get that nigga in the middle of the street. Definitely think. Look. He think he be slowing niggas down. It's gonna be a good one. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good one.
Yo, I'm good on the ropes or in the middle of the ring. Wherever we at, I'm Gucci. Trust me.
Ain't that Sanjetti, boy? Sanjetti, man, Jedi, yo. Trust me. But hold on, let me finish my point.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and then I'm gonna let you get right into it, Sanjetti, because I know you gotta go, brother. I just appreciate you blessing your presence, man. I'm in Raw Squad up, man. So it's levels to this. And for instance, gotta give it to Brother Polite, right? You gotta give it to that filmmaker, Tariq Nasheed. Gotta give it to them. They on high power platforms that not only talk to conscious people. So Sarnetta, right? He's in the big leagues, but he only deals with a certain demographic. Kind of limited that. So he's definitely here. He's definitely in the pros, right? His viewership is there, right? You know what I mean? He might not be making, like some niggas make 150,000 a contract. Some niggas make about 10 million. So you would say Sarnetta would make about 10 million. You put him right there, right? You know what I'm saying? He ain't no Kawhi Leonard and shit, right? But he's definitely higher than where we at. This has nothing to do with whether the information is right or wrong. It has to do with the status that you reached and what you're doing in your platform. This is what I'm talking about. But when you start talking about that movie maker right there, man, he's on Vlad TV. He's on The Breakfast Club. He's on every major outlet that actually reaches not only conscious black people, but just black people in general and the regular populace. And I'm saying, man, that's the goddamn pros. And that's what we need to be if we are who we say we are. And goddamn it, I say we are. But my head ain't inflated, right? We're not there yet. It's going to take y'all putting us there. It's going to take marketing. It's going to take some serious promotion. It's going to take some serious fundraising, because I swear to goodness, in about a year and a half, I'm going to beat the brakes off of a lot of motherfucking people with some serious shit. I give you my word on this show. I am dedicated to never allowing for super pseudos to exist in a space without that goddamn smoke, without that fire, without that, you know what I'm saying, that goddamn, that monster chasing their ass, eating them up. You're never going to change the pseudo mind and the pseudo crowd mind. They got to change their own mind. But I'll be damned, as new people come to this information, they can look at one thing and then they got something to look at it. That's our job, to make sure, right, that when we go down in history, and I know we are, right, that they'll say, hey, man, them niggas did their thing. Them brothers and sisters, man, they made sure that the community, although you might want to look at this type of stuff, but they had a counter to all that. That's where I'm at, man. Hey, man, we seek to be in the pros, man. All right? And so it's going to take y'all, right? We putting together a project, and y'all going to have to fund that shit, right? We going to make, it's going to be all the way above board. You're going to know where every cent is going, but I'll be damned, yo, we cannot stay in AAA. That's not going to do it. That's not going to counter the pseudos. They winning right now, all right? Not because they get a lot of views, but because they own the platforms. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Sinjetti, man. Let's talk about real quick, but I know you got to go. Let's talk about the immunity system real fast.
All right. So let me just give some general statements before I get into that. So overall, we have an issue in our community of accountability or lack thereof. And because the social media platform, it allows people to, you can view your opinions and your views, but it also gives a gateway for people who are uneducated to present themselves as if they are.
Hold on, stop real fast, real quick. Hey, Bruce. Hey, man. Jiggy Bruce. Hey, I got to shout you out, man. My New Orleans brother, man. I got to shout you out, bro. I'm a Raw Squad for life, man. Go ahead.
So, you know, and people, most of these people focus on their image, their personal image, which of course goes into the negative aspects of a person's ego. So they have to look good at all costs. So that's where a lot of their energy goes, showmanship. Whereas people who are researchers are not focused on showmanship. They're focused on work, and they're investing their time and their money into study. Now, when I say study, I'm not talking about you read three paragraphs or just 2 articles to get ready for a conversation tomorrow, because that's what happens a great deal of the time. I'm talking about people who have spent years in study. For example, like in Meta Nature, I've been studying it since I was 18 years old. Okay, and I'm closer to 40 now. And I have teachers who can vouch for me. And I've gone through the trials and tribulations, and I'm not talking about, well, let me just read some things on the internet and now I'm an expert. No, I went through real life experiences, which gives a significantly different value to the conversation when it comes to Meta Nature. Now, when it comes to talking about human health, I went to school for pre-medical biology. I'm currently a medical technician. I have experience as a CNA. I've done medical assisting also, and I have my certification as an emergency medical technician as well. And so someone like with that kind of background brings a different value to the conversation. People who work in the field, which is different from somebody who simply reads an article.
Facts.
All right. So it's very different. Now, here's my personal view on this conversation about vaccines. Now, Archive, we've had our dialogue, and I said I'm more into integrated medicine. So use natural modalities where it's applicable, and use pharmaceutical applications modalities where applicable.
I agree with you.
I'm not against vaccines. What I'm against is the wrong use of medicines, period. Because herbs are medicine also. but you have to use them properly, just like acetaminophen, aspirin, etc. You can take too much, you can make wrong mixes, you can have contraindications, etc. Okay? So you know, like I wouldn't tell somebody, hey, take burdock root, you know, for your headache while it's 100 degrees outside. But people may argue, well, it's natural, it's an herb. Well, hold on. You need to understand the biochemical effects that it has on the body. What exactly does it do? First off, it's a diuretic. So here you are urinating, but you out in the hot sun at the African Street Festival in New York or at a Dunday, and you're now at risk of becoming dehydrated because you said, well, I want to be natural. No, it's called you are doing the wrongful use of medicine. And we do know that pharmaceutical medicines come from plants. So I treat them all the same, whether it's echinacea or vitamin C shot or something like that. So now, immunity. We know that we have what's called like your lymphatic system, all right, which is the delivery system for lymphocytes, antibodies, etc. So let's just say you get a cut on your forearm on the radial side. So that's the like towards the side of your thumb. And if you get a cut there, your immune system kicks in automatically. So you have your immune system and your peripheral nervous system kicks in. So this is why your heart jumps, or you start to experience what's called like tachycardia. So that's rapid heart rate. Because see, now your heart is pumping so that it can deliver, you know, like any kind of like, what was the word? Like antibodies if you need to stop infections. Is going to deliver some substances that's going to make the swelling. You're going to scab up, etc. This is part of your immune system. All right. So now let's say you are exposed to antigen that you've never been exposed to. Yes, your body's going to kick in, but how effective is it? Depending on what it is. You know, if you're dealing with a bacteria or a virus, because bacteria behave different than viruses. And this is something that needs to be known. You can't just say, oh, well, it's the flu season, you know, I'm good. Okay, well, if you're healthy, then more than likely you will be. You know, you may not need to get a flu shot if you're at top health. But now, what happens when you're introduced to, say, something from China? So you get on the plane and you go over to China and they got an outbreak. You can't say, well, I'm only going to do echinacea, because you are now being exposed to something that your body is completely not accustomed to. And because people are traveling around the world at more rapid rates, like we're not walking long distances over thousands and thousands of miles over thousands of years, slowly building up immunity to the surrounding environments. That's not happening anymore. You're getting on planes and traveling. So this is where a vaccine may be advantageous to you. And keep in mind, I said maybe, because you may not get exposed to, you know, pathogens in say a country you've never been to. Because in science, you know, we pretty much stay away from definitive statements like you will get exposed to this. You don't know. So you have to say you may get exposed. So if you get a vaccine for something, like if you go to, say, West Africa, for example, and it don't even matter if if we're black folk over here, if you have not been exposed to certain pathogens, and if your mother has not been exposed, because again, you get your initial immunity from your mother, which is called passive immunity. We'll get into that in a second. Then you have no immunity for these foreign pathogens on the other side of the world. Now, if you're just local, you're just pretty much not leaving where you're at, then you might be safe. But what happens when you're exposed? Now, I don't presume to tell people to get vaccine shots. I don't presume to tell people not to get vaccine shots. You have to educate yourself and then make an informed decision. Make sure you inform yourself. Now, granted, I do say this, recognizing the horrific experience that Africans have experienced in this country, at least since the 1700s, with the health system here, with us being experimented on. So I want to recognize that. And I do recommend getting the book, Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington, a very well researched and put together book. So you got anything on that before
well, shit. What you gotta say that, X? I know what I gotta say. Get your goddamn ass vaccinated, yo. That's what I'm saying. Make sure your babies coming to this world get vaccinated. And make sure they drink breast milk. That's very vital and very important. I think you talked about that as being what you said that was what? What was that called?
So that's called passive immunity.
Passive immunity. Okay.
So passive immunity is when you receive antibodies from your mother while you're still in the womb, as well as via breast milk. So that's your initial immunity. So that still gives you an advantage, gives babies an advantage who do not get breastfed.
Yeah.
Okay. So that can protect you or give you defense, against like respiratory tract infections, acute prolonged diarrhea, otitis media, like urinary tract infections, like neonatal septicemia, etc. So you need that. But now once you come into the world, because again, we're in a modern world where we have different people traveling at rapid rates, more so than thousands of years ago, then it may become necessary for you to get a vaccine. Now, mind you, I say it may become. So I don't want anybody coming up after me saying, well, Sanjetti, you said this. Pay attention. I said you may need it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, pay attention. You do need to be vaccinated. This is coming from Brother Unc, right? I'm telling you that your ass is grass running around here, right, on the planet Earth, trying to kill you your every waiting moment based off of bacteria and being surrounded literally by pathogens. So before the 1800s, all people died from viruses. You know what I'm saying? Viruses and disease. You know what I'm saying? And then the onset of vaccination coming from West Africa. Your West African brothers and sisters, most of us are from West Africa. A couple of brothers and sisters developed a technique of, actually administering small portions of virus, like for instance, I think it's cowpox, right? They kind of took that and put that, you know what I'm saying, and started that trend and actually helped out some Europeans on that. We'll get into that in depth one day. So, so to vaccinate, is like an African thing. And then I could get real technical later on and show them and tell you exactly what it was. Okay. So yeah, man. Hey, look.
Yeah. People act like, I don't mean to cut you off, but people act as if, pharmaceutical type medicine is white man's medicine.
Yeah, it's dumb.
They did not create medicine. Okay. They did not create medicine. They did not create the healthcare field. We've had nurses going back thousands of years, doctors, the first, we can go back to Hesse Ray, one of the first medical doctors recorded in human history, in ancient Kemet. Okay. The so-called C-section. One of these days I'll find a different name for it. The Caesarean section was way in Africa before there was a such thing as a Caesar.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we were doing these kinds of things for thousands of years. So it's no different than martial arts or going on a battlefield or something. Like if you don't practice for combat, then you will not be prepared for it. Your immune system works the same way. So that's the whole thing with vaccines.
So do you promote it?
What do you mean? Like, am I going around telling people to do it? No, I don't go around telling people to get vaccinated.
Like, say you had a group of people saying that that people shouldn't get vaccinated. Would you counter that?
I would counter that by saying, unless they are medical professionals, that they shouldn't be telling people to or not to.
Okay, so
unless you are bringing research that says otherwise. And now and when I say research, I'm not talking about you brought 2 cases out of 1,000 people. I'm talking about, you see what I'm saying? So it's more complicated. So that's why, but go ahead.
I'm asking you just one question, Sanjay. You're for vaccines, yes or no?
Yes, I'm for vaccines.
Okay. I just wanted to get that cleared away right there. That's all. Now, I asked the question wrong the first time. I asked whether you promote it. I just wanted to ask whether you're for it, so people would have a proper understanding of what your position on it was.
Yeah, he wouldn't be on the spot.
Now here's the issue with that.
Go ahead.
Because both are blanket statements. Because see, when we're dealing with science, we have to deal with details.
I'm with you. Okay,
this is why, like, I don't take a definitive by saying yes, I'm for vaccines. Yes, I promote. I don't. The reason I don't do that is because you get too many people who make a religion out of this.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, that's why I don't do that, because I don't want to get. I don't allow myself to get caught up in all the riffraff.
Gotcha. When I say that you're for vaccines, what I'm saying is that that's something that you don't have a problem with, and that you see as being something that empowers humanity or is for the betterment of humanity. That's what I'm trying to communicate when I say that you're for vaccines.
Say it, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, no, I know. I just want to add like a little bit more detail. Not all the detail necessary, but
All right, so the usage of vaccines is instrumental in reducing the spread of disease. Okay, so now somebody says that's good for humanity, then so be it. If someone says it's not, so be it.
What do you mean?
The only thing I focus on is the effect of it. Because see, when we say humanity, that's more of a quote unquote, you might say, politically charged term, the way people use it. That's why I don't get into that. The only thing I'm focusing on is what is the objective effect. Okay, it reduces with the objective of stopping the spread of disease. I usually just leave it at that. Now, because everybody doesn't consider that good.
Vaccines?
And now we're getting into people's personal feelings and stuff, which is most of it I'm not concerned with.
Yeah, yeah, me neither. I'm just dealing with logic here. Like, as a species, our job, I would think, is to maintain ourselves. And so if something has the ability to do just that by preventing those that would take us out of this existence, I would be in promotion of that, which in this case would be a vaccine. I'm in promotion or in favor of vaccines because it stops the spread of disease.
Yes. Now, and I'm with you on that point. Now, again, like I said earlier, I say this recognizing history and how Africans or African Americans, whichever term we want to use, we have been abused and used as scapegoats so that European Americans and Europeans could gain so-called medical knowledge. All right. And that is where much of the taboo that we have
Yeah.
entrusted the medical system.
Yeah.
Right? Which, of course, I am a member of the African American / African community.
Yeah.
So I have, the same suspicions that the rest of us have.
Yeah,
The
I had those
question,
too.
yeah. So, and
What
again, and I like to approach things holistically.
what
What was
suspicion,
that?
what suspicion is that? Hold on, I got a real good in the chat room real fast. It was real good. A person, hold on. Person was I want to get your name on it. They was basically asking, should you get your child screened
Yeah.
for who was that before getting a vaccine? And that was very interesting.
That's Jay Carter. Should you get your child screened for potential risk
Now,
before getting vaccinated?
now, see, that's a good idea right there, and I'm sure they developing something like that because, to be honest with you, you could have some like peanut aversion, right? You know what I'm saying, like, you wouldn't know you was allergic to peanuts till you came around it. But if you could get screened for that prior to that, it wouldn't be the goddamn peanut fault. See? If you came across a peanut and had a problem with it, damn near died. It wasn't the peanuts. It was your body having a problem with the peanuts. So we know by the study of vaccines and certain medicines, people are allergic to certain things. That's the truth. So man, I like that right there. Yo, so I'm pretty sure they will develop something to be able to screen your child for pre-existing conditions that they would later on blame on goddamn vaccines. Because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, real quick, when we talk about having seizures, right? And they'll blame it on a vaccine. But the truth is, right, when your first seizures and all that, a bright light coming on could trigger a seizure. A fever could trigger a seizure. So, some vaccines you get, they give you a dead portion of the particular pathogen, right? Okay. And that could induce a small fever that in turn could trigger a seizure. Does that mean it was the vaccine that triggered the seizure? No. No, it does. That's not what that means. What it means is that any temperature, fever, would have triggered that quote unquote seizure. And there's a hell of a study on seizures because once upon a time they actually thought that vaccines cause seizure and they gave a name for it. And I forget the name. They was wrong as shit back in the 50s. That's why I love science because it's self-correcting. Go ahead, extra pick, but I appreciate that from the chat room. I felt like that definitely added to the conversation.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. X.
Sanjetti was about to address the skepticism associated with allowing the medical field to, basically inject you with what's supposed to be things that help you. Sanjetti was about to give his spill. Sanjetti, you still there?
Okay, yeah. I just have my mic on mute. So, of course, we know about the famous Tuskegee experiment, etc., where European Americans they would tell the men, hey, we're giving you some vitamins and minerals, but they were actually, they knew that these men, our forefathers and ancestors had syphilis.
Did they have the syphilis prior, or because the rumor?
You may have some. Okay, so you would have some who may have already had syphilis, but then you had some who were given syphilis.
Okay, so they were given syphilis.
Yeah, some
at least. Ho. We're gonna stop right there. You got that study wrong. They didn't give them syphilis. That's not what it was. I think they gave them syphilis in what is it, South America? Not South. Yeah, it was in South America. They actually gave it. They did it's Tuskegee. What they did, what I feel like was just as bad, was they actually act like they gave them placebos and shit. And
then they gave them vitamins and minerals. But they gave them vitamins and minerals.
Yeah, and let them go home to their family, keep spreading that shit when they thought they was getting cured. But they did not.
What they were doing was tracking the progression of the disease.
Right, but I'm just saying, I want to make it clear for the listening audience, they didn't give them syphilis.
And the Tuskegee, okay, so Tuskegee experiment, they did not give those black men in America syphilis. They already had it. They just
Yes.
deceived them into believing that they were providing them with a cure.
Yes. Yep. Didn't treat
All
it.
right, so that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is. Yep.
All
That's
right.
a fact right there.
So, I mean, in either case, these men, were not being cured. All
Yeah,
right.
but we gotta be precise in what it was, though. We don't want to give out. We don't want to mess that up. Because
Mm.
they swear they gave them syphilis to the government. It wasn't the government neither. It wasn't that. Right? You gotta really. Everything is not the government. The government is not in charge of every goddamn thing, no matter what y'all think, what y'all say. The FBI is not the government. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? J. Edgar Hoover started the fucking FBI. He was spying on the damn government.
Mm.
Might have had Kennedy killed. You know what I'm saying? So let's get. I just want to be clear though, because X be trying to wait in the wings on a nigga. Yo,
No, I'm asking. I'm inquisitive. I don't know whether or not they gave it to him
yeah, we
because
can
I'm
look
hearing,
it up
I'm
though.
hearing rumors now.
Yeah, we
And
can
now
look
I'm
it
hearing.
You got. I mean, you have a lot of people who say that it was given, but
up.
again, I haven't not read on that study in a long time, so
I've
Okay,
never read
that,
a.
that just may be the
I
case
did.
there.
For the record, I did. I read
Okay.
it,
All
going
right.
it backwards, and they didn't give it to him.
All
Okay.
right. So
Which don't save them because that's some terrible thing to know
right.
somebody
So
got something and then let them go home and spread it to the community. That's even worse to me.
yeah. So that part is where much of the issue comes in because we
Yeah,
were still used as guinea
yeah,
pig.
guinea pigs.
You know.
And they did it to their people too. They did it to white people too. They didn't have no regulation for that type of shit. And when they did, they overstepped it. They did all that. So
Mhm.
we taking all that into consideration. Get your ass vaccinated. With all that, with all that in consideration, you're better off taking vaccinations than you're not.
But see, this is the thing. This with the skepticism. If the belief is that they gave us syphilis, why the fuck would we go to the hospital trusting the same individuals,
Right.
or at least their descendants, to administer something to us that's to cure us or to fix us or to prevent us from actually getting sick? What's to say that those individuals aren't injecting us with something to make us sick? That's
Right.
what the psychology of the community is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good question. Now the answer would be is to
Uh,
do your research, because a lot of times we may ask that question, but what's on the other side of that question? Are we actually seeking answers? Are we seeking solutions?
mhm.
Okay, because if we're saying why we trust the same individuals, and this is where it's problematic for me to say individuals, because most of the individuals who were involved in that study are dead.
Yeah,
Right?
but you know the what the lingering effect is, Sanjay. Go ahead,
Hold on,
bro.
let me finish
Go ahead.
that point there.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is why I stay away from certain terms,
I got
because
you.
I want to bring the solution. All right, because we have a justified fear. Now, mind you, I'm emphasizing a justified fear.
Yeah.
Right, fear is not always bad. It's a protective mechanism because of our experience, and we're still being abused now.
Mhm.
So your best defense and offense, you have to educate yourself to find out what's what and what's going on. Not just say, well, you know, I can't trust people at the hospital. Now, did you go to that particular hospital? Is there history at that particular hospital? I'm talking about within the past, say, 10 years, something that's ongoing. Or is it blanket? And then I'm gonna tell you this, where that could be at a disadvantage. Let's just say that you have a beloved grandmother. Again, I'm not saying anybody specifically, and she passes out. You don't know what to do. In your head, you say, I don't want to call an ambulance because they're going to take her to the hospital.
You're just crazy.
Now, she died. Now, what you could have done is, checked her vitals, okay, given her CPR, try some things until ambulance got there. But because of fear, in addition to not having knowledge on what to do in an emergency situation, you're now in an emergency situation.
So you said something. You and X came to a moment. I don't want to go back to that moment when y'all spoke of the actual fear, and you called it a certain type of fear. What did you say?
Justified fear.
Justified fear.
I call it a justified fear.
All right, so let's go back to the justified fear. This is the playground of the pseudo right there.
Yeah, yeah, that's where it's birthed from. But I mean, at the end of the day, like Sanjetti said, there is a justified fear. It is a justified fear because we do know that we got experimented on prior, and then all of the myths that get brought up from there that get into circulation, our social circulation, it creates this environment where the pseudos now can thrive. You get me?
Absolutely. So you get a moment in time when a disease goes unchecked, and should that be allowed to carry on, or should that just be a place in history where we learn? So like, hold on. So like when I go to the doctors, and I tell anybody to go to the doctors, ask questions. See, ask them, well, what you're about to prescribe for me, can I get the journals on that? Has this been prescribed for this before? Is it a new treatment? Also get a second opinion. You can actually ask your doctors for scientific journals on what they, whatever they said you got, right? You can ask to get scientific journals on and how it was treated. That's what I say you do when you go to the doctors. I don't say just go to the doctor and sit there. No,
yeah, but
don't do that.
Let me want to add to that, Unc. I would encourage people. If you go to the doctor, do not just sit there and just take it in.
No.
Unless you have a great relationship with this particular doctor and you can have confidence in this person, then like I said, you need to get a second opinion, because there's different brands. Like if we talk about vaccinations, there's different brands, different companies that address the same ailment. Now, some of them use, different ingredients, but there's going to be a lot of ingredients that will be in common. The so-called active ingredients. But you need to research all of these different ones and then make informed decision. See, I would much rather you say, no, I don't want to get that vaccine after you've researched. Okay. As opposed to, I don't want to get it because you're not informed. Okay? Yeah, it's better. I'd rather you do that, even though I might say, hey, you about to go on a vacation? Yeah, I'm about to go down to Disney World in Florida. Have you ever been there before? Oh, no, this is my family first time. Oh, how old is your child? Oh, 2 years old. Okay. Right? Oh, yeah, we're about to go to the Bahamas. All right. But, you say, okay, well, I don't want to get the vaccines for the diseases there.
No, it's deep. If you really do the real research, you'll get a goddamn vaccine.
See, this is the thing. You got to realize, man, most Black people are not educated. And when you're not educated, you think simplistically. And so pseudos speak in a very simplistic manner. So they're going to be able to catch the ear of the bulk of our people before we do, or before the educated individuals do. And then we have a problem in communicating complex information to simple-minded individuals. And I'm not being disrespectful here. I'm just being honest. When you don't have an education, you think in a very simplistic manner. And that's the bulk of Black people. So how do you convince us to take vaccines, understanding all the oppressions that African Americans have suffered heretofore, and then the individuals administering these drugs, for the most part, at least in our mind, is white people or individuals associated with white people who, of course, we don't trust. How do you go about convincing that population to take that vaccine?
I mean, okay, well, here's one.
Let me say this. Let me say this real fast, Sanjetti. In the words of the great Sister Kaba, black people, black people in North America
I know what you're gonna say.
have more fear for the vaccines than they do the goddamn infectious diseases and viruses.
Okay, now let me respond to that real quick. Listen, we don't know if though because we're ignorant, we don't know how the human body works. We don't know what germs are and how they affect us. We don't know those things. We're ignorant collectively. We believe that those supposed vaccines are pumping us with the diseases or the infections that the vaccines are supposed to protect us against. And so we're not comprehending it in the way that you just communicated. We don't comprehend it like that. We don't comprehend that if you don't take this, the disease is gonna come. We comprehend it like if you take this, the disease, you're now gonna have the disease.
Yeah, that's people ignorant against
Well,
vaccines. That ain't black people. That's
That's
people.
black people. That's black people in general.
well,
Man.
I'll just say, see, I try not to. This is me.
Go ahead,
I,
Sanjay.
I try to get away from saying most black people.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's a blanket statement. And brother, I do know where you're coming from.
Uh-huh.
You know,
That's
you're not, and I'm not saying that you're incorrect. You know,
Mhm.
I'm saying that I like to take a more positive approach. You know,
I get that,
in
Sanjay.
fact, let me reword that. Let me reword that. I try to take more of an optimistic approach.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like, where's that study at with most black people are ignorant against vaccines? It's not
Well,
black.
because, and the reason why, you know, because unless we have surveyed all black people,
Correct.
we cannot accurately say most black people.
I ain't gonna say
We
that.
can say that there is a number of black people that such and such because of our personal experience, you know, with the people that we know. But unless we survey at least the majority, over 50% of the African American population, we can't say most. But I do see where you're coming from. So here's one of the problems in dealing with healthcare. And again, this is part of even my own experience. We don't have enough black healthcare professionals. We need more.
Yes.
Okay. That is one of the issues. And I'll get to another one. But check this out. Less than 5% of working doctors in the United States are black. Less than 5%. Which means that more than likely you will encounter a physician who is a white male, white woman, Asian, you know, or someone from India.
From
okay.
Africa.
Now we are increasingly getting doctors who are from the continent who are here as well.
Yeah.
But as far as African Americans, less than 5%.
Yeah. How many people got doctors in their family?
Huh?
How many people got doctors in their family? I got one.
I don't have not one.
See?
In my family, I have nurses. Like my mother is a RN.
Yeah, I ain't saying nurses. We got nurses. We got some nurses.
Yeah.
Not one doctor. Not one PhD.
Yeah. And see, my mother, watch this. See, my mother was also an advanced laboratory technician before she became a nurse. Okay. You know, and her and I have conversations all the time. So when doctor's orders comes in, she's the only one who can accurately interpret, you know, the lab results.
Right.
You know, and we talk all the time, and she's told me how she's caught mistakes that none of the other nurses would have even had the knowledge to even look for. Okay. So, but again, we need more healthcare professionals. Now, why is that advantageous? Because it's about empathy. Because here's the reality. A European American, more than likely, now this is according to studies and people's personal experiences, is more than likely to not have an empathy for African Americans who are in an ill state.
That's a
In
Harvard
order to
study, I
get my
believe.
people.
That's a
Okay.
Harvard study. I read that before.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of
So,
people dig
and
that.
we're, and yes, it is a fact,
Was
and
it
this has
just?
been documented. We
Was it,
are, for the
I'm
most
sorry.
part, treated differently.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah, brother.
Sanjay. I just wanted to ask you, was that exclusive to Europeans or was that other, ethnic groups as well?
Study use Europeans and then you anybody else.
Hold
Okay.
on. Which part do you mean? So I'll make
When,
sure.
when you said that white people would be less empathetic towards the black sickly,
Oh,
is that exclusive to Europeans or did that apply to like, South Asians, West Asians, East Asians, um, their sentiment towards black people if they were doctors, or
okay.
was the study exclusively done on Europeans?
Okay. Well, I was specifically referring to Europeans, um,
Oh,
in that on that particular point.
okay.
So,
All
um,
right, so in the chat room, Sister Kava, she'll be posting.
Hold on, let him finish real quick.
I know. I'm gonna make the statement real quick. We gotta just pause that for a minute. We'll be posting. She posts links and stuff, and so when we talk, we'll post a link or something dealing with what we're saying. So keep an eye on her. So she's not in there to beat up people and kick their ass out. Right? She in here to bring, the woman energy. What I'm saying, and intelligence to the conversation, backing up what we're saying. That's very vital. You very seldom find shows like that. You probably gotta go to MBK to get that type of service, man, from this intelligent black woman. But go ahead, CJ. What was you saying about the same, bro?
He was talking about Sanjay, you were talking about the empathy, the lack of empathy that Europeans would have for African Americans, according to the study you were speaking
yeah.
about.
And again, I'm not looking at the study, so anybody you can do an internet search. But
Well, it's the journal of I forget
yeah,
the name of the
yeah,
journal.
but if you get it, go to either a university study, so that would be something .edu, or something journal.
Of it. I would not believe
Go
it.
to those.
So hold on, real quick. We talked about. I wanted to throw this. I put it in the chat room earlier. I wanted to throw one of the female. Let's come to real quick. I wanted to backtrack slightly a little bit. Brother JD was talking about, well, no, medicine and stuff is not the white man thing. So what I like to go to is ancient history encyclopedia, right? And let's go to female physicians, female physicians in Egypt. Hold on, let me put this in a thing for y'all real fast.
Yeah, you know what I think our problem is? We're failing to realize the psychology of the individuals that we're trying to help.
Now I get no. I think that's why I said that pivotal moment, which y'all was talking about. So we don't forget that. But we ain't got time for that shit though. How about that?
Learn
We
about
ain't got
what?
time for you worrying about because what they did and all that. Yeah, we know what they did. We get it. That's why we're trying to promote scientific literacy so we can get more doctors and get more biologists and more anthropologists into the damn fields. Shit. Can't keep saying the same shit. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
Well, yeah, like you can't. Like
Can't
here's
keep
the thing.
doing it.
Like don't complain. Go into the field.
Right.
Go into
Hold
the
on, real
field.
quick. Hold on, real quick. It says a famous story from Greece relates how a young woman named uh, Anaxagoras, I probably messed that up. Gonadis, Agnodice, wished to become a doctor in Athens, but found this forbidden. In fact, a woman practicing medicine in Athens in the 4th century BCE faced the damn death penalty, yo. Refusing to give up her dreams, she traveled to Alexandria, where women were routinely allowed in the medical profession. Once she had received her training, she returned to Athens to practice, but did so distinguished as a man. When she was found to be a woman pretending to be a doctor, she was brought to trial and charged with the capital crime until she was saved by her female patients who stormed the proceedings and and shamed the prosecuting male to release her. All right. Following the anadonics, I'm saying it wrong, man, trial, the laws were changed in Athens so women could now practice medicine. But by this time, female physicians now in Egypt for centuries. The evidence for women in the medical field in Egypt, however, has been largely ignored. It ain't gonna be ignored by us, by historians for the past century. Even so, even so eminent as Egyptologist Barbara Watson claimed that physicians in Egypt were all, with one or two exceptions, male. Got the source there. This claim and others like it fatally ignore evidence of women in the medical profession going back to the early dynastic period in Egypt. 3150 to 2613 BCE, when Mariet Batar, look at it again, Mariet Batar was the royal court chief physician, 2007, I mean, my man, 2700 BCE. Mariet Batar is the first female doctor known by name in the world history. But evidence suggests the medical school at the Temple of Neot in Sos, a city in Lower Egypt, run by women whose names are unknown, 3000 BCE. And I put that article in there. I took us back about maybe 30 minutes when Brother Sinjetti and Brother X was talking about females and how basically, well, we did one of the female part, it was the how medicine don't come from Greece and Europe. Medicine comes from Africa. And I want to say medicine comes from the women. You know, one of the oldest professions would be gynecologists, right? Hell, giving birth, helping bringing babies to the world. All right, I just want to throw that in there real quick. Okay, so yeah, we had in today's discussion. We talking about pseudo killers, the harmful effects of our hidden colors. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And right.
Yeah,
So we gotta get better at what we do. That's for damn sure.
yeah, we want to give much respect to women, especially women, black women in the medical profession, healthcare, because they're very nurturing, etc., man. And again, my mother, been in healthcare field, entire working life. She's one of the smartest people that I know. She's very, very versatile, extremely knowledgeable. And that's where, that's pretty much where I get it from, and I credit her, with, much of my own knowledge, in that direction. So, I'm glad that you brought that up, Unc, about one of the earliest recorded physicians, Merit Ptah. And after her, you have Pesachet, in the fourth dynasty. And their title would be like the female director, or you could say directoress if you like. I know some of our sisters, may be sensitive in that area. So you could say directoress of physicians or female physicians. If you want to say directoress of physicianesses, that's fine too. Okay. There's no, in fact, if you go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art so when you go to the section on Egypt, you're going to start off in the old king. You have some old kingdom artifacts, and then you have pre-dynastic artifacts. Now, once you pass the pre-dynastic artifacts, you're going to see a section, leading to the so-called Middle Kingdom. And then as you go into that area, you'll see a nurse. The statue of a nurse is right in there. So I just wanted to point that out.
All right. Okay, so all right, y'all got that source right there. So being on topic, yeah, man. Pseudo community have attacked our ignorance, right? Brother X talked about the pseudo attacking, all right, our mentality. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even them attacking it.
Attack our mentality. Go ahead.
Not them attacking our mentality. They're playing on it. They know what we're susceptible to. and they're taking advantage of that. If I know that you don't trust white people, at that point, I can convince you that anything even remotely associated with white people, you should get the fuck away from. And that's what they've been able to do, and very effectively.
Very effective to the part where they're in the big leagues. So
Hey,
why?
hold on, let me ask you this question. Remember you said it was one nigga that had got Francis Cress Wilson and all of them to start believing in some pseudo stuff.
Yeah, got
But
a whole community. Yep.
was that Clyde Winters?
No, hell no, nah. But he be pseudo to death too. That's my man right there. I like Clyde a lot, man.
Clyde pseudo.
That American shit be too much, yo.
I want to know who you talking about.
uh,
I want to know who you talking
y'all
about.
know, come on, put in the chat room, man. The guy that came with the melanin theory, man, it was crazy as hell. Y'all know. Help me out on this.
Into it.
Doctor something. He was a doctor too. He might not even been a doctor. He act like he was a damn doctor. I'm thinking he was a real doctor. Bad research. Crazy. Tell everybody what melanin was before they even figured out all the types of the formation of melanin. They didn't have it. They didn't know exactly, all the construction of melanin, how it was actually put together. They didn't know all that. This dude coming out with the topic. So, all right, where we at? So we got elders running around talking about melanin is the life force.
Layla. Said it's a life force. It takes. He said when you put something negative or harmful inside the body, melanin takes it out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's figure out what melanin is for a minute.
There's only 3 domains of life. Which one does melanin fit into? Is it archaea, bacteria, eukarya? What?
Melanin, Greek word for black or dark, is a broad term for a group of natural pigments.
Somebody said Dr. Richard.
That's it. Somebody pull up this book.
Dr. Richard what?
Right? Dr. Richard Wright? Is that what it is?
I don't know. They just said Dr. Richard something.
I think it's Dr. Richard Wright, yo. I promise you.
I'm gonna look that up. Go ahead, keep talking.
So melanin, so we know it's 3 types of melanin, right? You got eumelanin, all right, pheomelanin, and neuromelanin. Okay? So neuromelanin, right, is found in the brains of mammals. Pheomelanin. Pheomelanin is that red melanin you find in Europeans. Eumelanin, I made a shirt, eumelanin, I ain't sell one goddamn shirt because ain't nobody know what the hell it was. So that was funny.
I think his name is Richard King.
Yeah, that's it, Richard King. I messed that up. Eumelanin. Let me spell it for you. Eumelanin. Eumelanin. All right? Okay. The most common type is eumelanin, of which there are 2 types, brown eumelanin and dark eumelanin. Say it again, brown eumelanin and dark brown eumelanin. Pheomelanin is a, what's this? Hold on. Thiostein derivative that contains polyobenzoathines, portions that are largely responsible for the color of red hair, among other pigmentations. Neuromelanin, neo, you know what that is, melanin, is found in the brain. Okay? There you go. So, all that, connecting that to the life force and all that, man, it's connected to the pigment, right? If it's eumelanin, it's connected to your brain. I mean, my fault. If it's neomelanin, it's in your brain, serving different functions, okay, than melanin. Okay, and we need to get these type of things straight because they preying on our ignorance to the tune of five documentaries. I found this very, very interesting.
Now, my view in regards to life force, personally, I would say look into the cell, into the what you might call the powerhouse of the cell. So that's like mitochondria, which will manufacture what's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate,
Mhm.
which is the quote unquote, energy, quote unquote, of the cell.
Mm.
So if anything, adenosine triphosphate is, a large part of your life force, if anything. But again, I'm coming from a biology perspective,
Yeah, they come
and
from
it
the
actually powers your body.
breaks
You have
down.
to go, you have to go deep into the cells,
What,
but
what exactly the mitochondria do? It breaks down food for energy. Breaks it down.
I would say molecule. I prefer to say molecules, or it breaks down macronutrient. The macronutrients and micronutrients. Because food is what you put in your mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets processed down. And
I mean,
then,
food for the cells to eat, yo, not people to eat, for cells to eat. I mean,
like to be specific.
right? Where we had to move up to a stage of getting real technical at times because it's on and popping. I'm letting y'all know. All right, we're gonna get the campaign together. We're gonna have it all laid out on what we exactly gonna do and what y'all gonna be putting your money to. And
Hey, let
then
me
take a year and a half. That's what it's gonna take.
let me ask Son Jetty
Long
this,
term.
since he went to school for biology. Um, what domain of life does melanin belong to? Because my man said it was a life, and
Oh, shit.
it prevents harmful entities from getting into the body, and it carries them out. Do you know that of the
Huh?
domain that melanin belongs to?
Oh man.
Huh?
Do you know what domain melanin belongs to?
Man.
No, I don't know what domain melanin belongs to. What type of melanin are we talking about?
Any melanin. Does any melanin belong to a domain of life?
Man, no, man.
No.
Protect you against the sun. Microorganisms didn't need
No.
that.
Okay. So if you talk about domain, you're talking about the line going from animalia, you're talking about species, etc. Is that what you're talking about?
And in the taxonomy, you have it's the 8 different main biological classifications. Like you start out with a domain, then you go to the kingdom, then you go to a phylum, class, an order, a family, a genus, and species. And
Okay.
within the domain bracket, there's 3. You have archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay. Eukaryotes, prokaryotes, and the
Yeah,
other.
those are like the 2 main.
Yeah.
Those are what the domains break off into, like the archaea and the what is it, bacteria. I think those are the no, is it that? Damn, mine isn't all the way there yet. What I just wanted to know was if melanin is something that's alive.
Oh,
No.
okay. So this is probably why I was confused. All right. So you're looking for a species of melanin.
I don't know. I would guess a species of melanin. Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with the species of melanin.
Hell no.
From all your studies, you don't know of melanin having a species, or of melanin being something that's alive.
Nope.
Uh,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
So what would you say to someone that says that melanin is a life force or a form of life that transports harmful entities out of the body when they get injected into it? What would you say to that?
Wait,
Shit.
wait a minute. Is this your question or someone else's question?
This is my question because this is what I heard from somebody. They said that
What?
melanin is a form of life that carries these harmful entities out of your body when they get injected into your body via vaccinations.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, because I was trying to understand, of course, the question, well, the statement of that person.
Wow.
Like, see, Unc, I'm trying not to curse, Unc. All right, this is what I would do. This is what I would do with that person.
What would you do?
Oh, shit.
I will ask that person to, well, first I would say, well, how did you get that? And can you bring it to me? Like, what did you observe that gave you that knowledge? Bring that to me. I will leave it there because
that's elder. That's the elder in the community too, bro. Hey,
I don't listen. Hold on. I don't listen. If someone said that to me, again, depending on who that person is, will dictate whether I say to that person in public or private. And there's not a lot of people that I would just straight be quiet about and wait till private. However, I'm just keeping it real. I would ask, well, what did you observe that gave you that knowledge? And can you show it to me? And can you duplicate that? Because that has to be because I got to be able to duplicate that. If I can't duplicate it, then it's useless. Then it's like this one chance thing. That melanin, again, I'll have to ask, well, what type of melanin are you talking about? Because scientists are only calling these substances melanin because of the color of it, not because of the function. That's why you have neuromelanin, and then you have melanocytes. Okay, they're only called that because of the pigmentation, not because of the function. Because if so, then I have to ask, well, how do you act black then? How does a cell act black? See? So, and again, this is not a shot at our identity, by the way, because when you bring the black thing up, people take it like you're attacking that person's identity.
Yeah.
We know that we are great. We know that we're great as African people. That's no doubt. Okay? Many of us are African-centered. And being African-centered and or using Afrocentricity dictates to you that you must do research and study. You don't get to, be African-centered and then use that as an excuse not to study. You still have to do just the same rigorous study as a scientist or someone who is a rigorous historian or someone in a field of study in which you are having your dialogue about. You don't escape. So when it comes to this, talk about immunology, toxicology, pathophysiology, etc. You need to educate yourself. And I don't mean just read a few articles.
Hold on for 1 second. I got a nut in the chat room. Now look, check this out. I put the link in there.
What's his name?
Bantoon.
Oh yeah, Mandinka. Yeah, that's a crazy guy. Remember the last time he said Africans didn't read much.
I'm gonna do this for you again. We got black ice around here, and all y'all that was following me for years know what it mean about the black ice. So I done put it in there. I'm gonna give it a link again. You're not gonna sit up in this chat room with an intelligent conversation and throw shots hiding your goddamn hand in the damn peanut gallery. We're not gonna do that.
That's bullshit.
Right. We're not doing that. Bullshit.
I just call it like it is.
Right. We ain't doing that around here. Get on the platform. Watch this. Look, man, I can't get on the hangout. You already know that. I don't know that. You supposed to be technically sound. You got enough sense to talk crazy. Mean tell me you can't muster up enough common sense and computer literacy to get on the hangout, man. What you can't do is you can't talk trash. That's the rule around here. We intellectual gunfighters. We need to see your face. Want to make sure you're a real person first. Find a way to get on here, bro, and take the whipping like a man. You're not gonna hide in that chat room. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna hide in the peanut gallery. Compliments of Sister Cobbins. Yeah, the peanut gallery. Not gonna do that, man. So if you don't got nothing intelligent to say, That does not mean you have to agree with anything we're saying. We need you to put some sources in there. You might not be able to get on here, but you should be able to back up everything you type, or I'm going to put your black ass up out of here. You can believe that. You will get black ice tonight. Here's the rule. If you can't get on the hangout and you're in the chat, provide sources. If you say the sun is green, I need a source. If you say vaccines are dangerous, I need a source. Don't talk me to death, man. Sit back for far too long. People been sitting back up in the chat room throwing shots. You know what I'm saying? Hiding their hand. Get out of here with that. Yeah, oh well. Hey,
hey, Sanjetti, let me ask you this. If
hey,
something
kick him out of here. He out of here. He out of here. Right, kick me out. Hey, out of here, son.
Yeah, remember what he said last time? He said Africans didn't read books. Africans don't read books. You got magical powers. Now, Sanjetti.
Pause you out.
Sanjetti.
I'm gonna pause him out. Hold on. I'm gonna put you in timeout like a kid. You're a kid. Back as a kid, I'm gonna treat you like a kid. Hold on. You're a kid, Bantu. I teach you like one of my children. I put him in timeout, face up against the wall. Here you go. Put user in timeout. Bam. Did they give you a time limit on that? There you go. Put him in timeout. You're in timeout. There you go, like a kid. Face up against the wall till you get some sense. There you go. Now, talk crazy. Don't call me pseudo. Hold on. Back to this mistrust in white people. Yes. Why is it that the people that claim to not trust white people the most only use white people dumb information? I'll say it again real slow for y'all. Right? Okay. Why is it those in the community, they make fake commentaries, they do all that, misinformation, whole 9 yards. They claim through the whole thing that they don't trust white people. Now, early on the show, me and Sajedi and X, we talked about if you really didn't trust white people, then you would have more people interested in scientific literacy so they could be the doctors, the biologists, the anthropologists, the paleontologists, you know what I'm saying? The microbiologists, all that. You would fight for that, right? Being as much a part of science as possible so you wouldn't have to rely on them. Second point, why is it? Second point is the first point. Why is it that these people that claim not to trust white people use all white people information? Now, they use non-scientifically literate white people's information, y'all. I want to say it slow. Why is it that people in this community claim not to trust white people, but yet literally use white people's information? But they don't go pick the intelligent white people. They take the pseudosciences, scientists. They take the irrelevant, crazy white people that's been kicked out their community and refurbish their information. How crazy is that? That we're actually a mechanism of racism, white, ignorant supremacy. That they're actually using us to promote their information because their own community couldn't do it. They couldn't make it in their own community and they kicked them out with, get that out of here. So they now in our community based off of the promotion of that information. That don't make no sense to me, y'all. And maybe I'm not saying it right. Maybe X can make it clearer or Sanjetti, right? But I'm telling you, I don't understand how a group of people that claim not to trust white people use all white people, trust white people to promote the bad information. Now, I don't trust nobody. So I like to get a consensus from the world community, the world scientific community. Does not only include white people, does not only include black people, it includes all people. Say it again. The scientific community includes all people. Plain and simple. Scientific consensus. What's the scientific consensus? Devil X Architect. Must don't got it.
Hold on, go ahead. The brother wanted to, I guess, ask me a question or something real quick.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you ain't. You go ahead. I was asking what scientific literacy was, and not scientific literacy, but scientific consensus was.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell the brother go ahead because I get ready to pack up here.
I was gonna ask you. I'm gonna come back to scientific consensus. I ain't hear you.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe. Well, he wanted to ask. You want to ask Sinjetti?
Yeah, I want to ask Sinjetti something. Sinjetti,
Yeah, y'all go.
if something is not a part of the three domains of life, archaea, bacteria, and eukarya, is it alive? Yes or no?
If it's not part of the domain,
those three domains of life, archaea, bacteria, or eukarya, is it alive?
depending on what your definition of alive, but according to biology, then by that standard, I would say no for now.
No. Okay. I'm with you. I just wanted to get that out there. So when someone says that melanin is a life, by default of biological understanding, that there are three domains of life, and if you don't fall into one of those three categories, you technically are not alive. So melanin cannot be alive.
Chemical, man.
Okay. Okay. Now let me make this clear here again. Oh man. Okay. So again, the term melanin, melanocyte, etc., comes from the term melanos, right? Latin for black, dark pigmentation. That is the only reason that these components in the body, be it for the skin or part of the nervous system, is called that. Only because of the appearance, not function. Because otherwise, I would ask that same person, how do cells act black?
Yeah.
Right? All right. Okay. Now, here's the thing. A person who, is uneducated and would otherwise lose that argument would then default into identity by saying, oh, you trying to say that, black people ain't got special powers, things like that, where that's not what you're saying at all.
That's what I'm saying. Black people ain't got special powers. I'm saying.
I mean, what I'm saying is because, like, for me, that's not my conversation. Because for me, that's not the way to demonstrate the uniqueness of us as a people. There are other and better and more accurate ways to do such.
That's right, bro.
Okay. So, because we have a rich history in the medical healthcare field, going back to the beginnings of human history, and we're talking about documentation and what can be demonstrated. But people want to take the easy route. And that is the problem, because too many people are lazy. They don't want to do the research. They want to put the hard work in. So again, when it comes to, I'm not saying that melanin isn't special in and of itself. You need melanin. All humans have melanin, one degree or the other. But because we have attached our social identity to our skin pigmentation, this is why people are taking it so personal. And this is our response, again, to European Americans who judged us according to our skin color, which in and of itself is pseudo. So now we're responding to pseudoisms using pseudo methods because they have attached our skin color to our identity. We did not do that. That's something they did, and we took it in.
Adopted it. Before you go, hold on, Chief. I'm gonna introduce you there. So, Daddy, before you go, I sent you a video. It's 2 minutes. I want you to look at that. Come back on.
Oh, that's the video on?
Yeah, I sent it. I gave it to him.
Yeah, that'll be
2 minutes. It's actually, I think it's less than 2 minutes. Look at that. Got your phone, right?
Yeah, I got my phone. I mean, once I get off here, I'm off because I get ready to
No, you
travel.
ain't gotta get off. No, don't get off. Look at the video.
Well,
We just want to see your face when you watch it. Put
all
it
right,
on mute.
let's hurry up and do this. Hold on.
Boy, God, why? You gotta look at it. You
You didn't
gotta
send
look
me
at
no,
it.
you didn't send me no funny boy stuff, did you?
Nah, man.
All right. I'm not saying you do, because I don't want you to try to get like a reaction out of me.
Nah. Put your joint on mute so
Yeah,
we
put it on mute. Put it on mute. Mute yourself.
What are you about to watch?
And you know what he about to watch. Don't say it, Chief. We're not talking about that. We're not saying it.
No, I missed something. Were you saying you ready to watch something?
Yeah.
They're gonna watch the video, the little short one.
Oh,
Experts in our community.
oh, okay, I got it.
Super pseudos.
Hey, can I add something about Dr. Richard King?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Because I don't know about it.
that game.
Yeah,
His name is
Dr.
Look at his face. Go ahead with the Richard King, my fault.
Yeah, his name is Dr. Richard King, and Dr. Richard King is an actual real MD. He's not a psychologist. He's a psychiatrist. And Dr. Richard King was one of my teachers. I worked at a group home, Peanuts Group Home, and Dr. Richard King was a psychiatrist for the boys in the group home. So he'd come in twice a month to sit down and talk to the boys and prescribe them medication for whatever their behavior problem was. And I met him in '94 when I started working at a group home. So he is a real MD, so he should know better, but he is a little pseudo with his melanin book.
A little.
But at that time, Richard King, Ashwar Kwesi, my teacher, Mathu Attar, they were all in that same circle, Runoka Rashidi. They're all from LA. Ashwar Kwesi moved back to Dallas, but they were all buddies in that era. So they was pushing a lot of race hustle and stuff.
Call it race hustle. Yeah, Richard King.
I sat down to him. He gave me a book. He gave me a beat up book of melanin in 1994. He just had this briefcase, and that's how I met him. And I was kind of impressed with him. And I would sit down and talk to him after he finished talking to the boys. He had the most stinkiest breath in the world.
Damn.
Every day his breath has never smelled good a day in his life. I don't know what's wrong.
You ain't tell him, yo, get his teeth fixed.
Oh man, it was horrible. It was horrible.
That's the worst. They want to talk to you the most, the niggas that got breath smell like a box of shit.
Okay, all right, okay. I looked at the clip. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me say this. Okay. So,
Hey, that's
okay.
the big
So
piece right there, bro.
all right. So our brother,
No, don't say it.
don't say what?
Don't say nobody's name. Talk about.
Okay.
Just explain. The world will know.
All right. So one of the persons in the video,
Right.
was saying that, of course, this person, the definition of vaccine.
Can we pull that definition up? Go ahead, yo.
So, I mean, y'all can do that. Simply, vaccine is a weakened form of a pathogen. Okay, long story short, weakened form or inactivated form.
Right.
That's given to you so that you can acquire an active, because remember, there's active immunity and there's passive immunity, to activate a response so that your body can now develop antibodies against that particular pathogen. Okay, so that if your body encounters a live aspect of that pathogen in your environment, then you are more than likely to be able to fight it off. That's what, and I say more than likely because in science there are no absolutes.
Facts.
Okay, so you can still see. I don't want to say sick because again, people have the wrong idea of what it means to be sick. Usually, people are talking about them feeling uncomfortable. Okay. So, for example, if you have diarrhea, you say, I'm sick. Because we're so afraid of pain, you know, and we're so fearful of things, you know, and we don't want to face pain. And this also goes to people's personalities. They like to run from their own problems. Pain is not always bad. If you have diarrhea, you're supposed to have diarrhea. That is your body's response of cleaning out. All right. That's why after you experience the diarrhea process, in which if you have a pathogen in your body, right, that goes into your digestive system, your body's expelling it out. So your large intestines pulls in extra water from the body and goes through the intestines and flushes it out. That's why your diarrhea is liquidy. So after you have diarrhea, you should drink water, because see, if you don't, you could get dehydrated. All right. So that's like your body's natural enema, if you will. So I'm not against people doing enemas, because sometimes that may be necessary, but you need to know what you're doing. Every time you get sick, don't just say, "Oh, let me do an enema."
My mom,
I got a cough. Let me do an enema.
Gave me an enema when I was a little boy. I hated it.
Yeah. You know, being personally, I don't like anything going up my ass. Okay, so that's so, however, you know, that is a modality that you can do. All right. But again, diarrhea is your body's natural cleaning response. But you know, of course, we drink things to make it feel better. That's really what that is. You know, if you have a headache, or if you're having constant headaches, then if you take, let's say, Midol or acetaminophen or aspirin, and that doesn't work, then you need to go see a doctor. You may need to go get an MRI. All right. In fact, at the hospital here, we looked at a CAT scan. It was a patient who always had migraines. So this person, you know, would take, you know, Advil, would take, you know, Tylenol, which is acetaminophen, aspirin, and caffeine, and etc., which is the same active ingredients as Tylenol, and even Motrin, which is ibuprofen, right, which is an anti-inflammatory. But nothing works. Come to find out that this person had hematomas. Okay.
What?
So,
Yeah, what?
hematoma. So that's like bleeding in the brain.
Oh man, damn.
Okay. But again, you know, what if someone said, yeah, just take burdock root? Okay. No, you need to find out exactly what's going on. You need to get the proper diagnosis. Now, I'm not saying don't use natural modalities. Natural modalities work, but just like with pharmaceuticals, you need to know what you're doing. Get the right diagnosis and take things properly in the proper dosages. Same thing with different herbal teas. Take them in the right dosages. But this is why, you know, in grocery store, they give small dosages, because they don't want people overdoing it. Because see, once you take a leaf and you dry it out, break it up and concentrate it, you just made it a medicine. Okay? So, all right. So that, again, let me give my closing statements before I get out of here. So whether you're taking herbs, whether you're taking vitamins and minerals, whether you're taking pharmaceuticals, understand what you're doing. Don't overdo it, because, you know, you can eat, you know, too much fruit. Okay. You can eat too much of anything. Do things in moderation. Okay. And study. And that's the problem. People are not studying, or they're going to extremes, you know, or they'll say, okay, well, I want people to buy my herbs, so I'm going to tell them that everything else is bad except for my stuff, which is wrong. And the same can occur in reverse. You can say, well, I sell the best, you know, aspirin, so everyone else is, you know, bad and mine is the best. You need to research, understand what you're doing. All right. Again, I'm more integrated medicine. So you could use vitamins and minerals. You know, you can simply go outside, you know, like if you're experiencing what's called depression, you can go outside. All right. That works to an extent. You have to do other things as well. You know, but like if I go to the emergency room and and I got like a shin splint, I'm not taking herbs. Okay? Like that's straight up. Again, I was doing rotations in the emergency room. No, I'm not giving that person, herbs from Whole Foods. And if it's real bad, if they have like bone fractures, etc., or they have a gunshot wound or something, I'm not giving that person herbs from Whole Food Market. You got to give that person some morphine. Okay, and manage the pain. It's people stop playing around. Like get serious and use things that have been proven to work. Because in the EMT field, it's evidence based. Evidence based. Now, again, there are natural things out there that work, but you need to know exactly what it is. Like charcoal, for example, like activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is a natural modality. It works. It removes poisons. Right? Because we use it out in the field. Okay, and I've used it. All right. One last thing before I go. Go
ahead. One day I had a family member who was sick, and I tried to bring some herbs and moringa to the hospital. The staff had a fit. Oh no, you can't do that. We can't do that. That's not approved. You can't take that because I guess maybe because of interactions, or they'll be held liable if something went wrong or they took something that harmed the patient while it was in their care. So you're not supposed to bring no kind of herbs. Is that right?
Yeah, anything that's not approved. Again, I'm not saying that wouldn't work. Like for example, if I'm, in like if you brought moringa, so I'm assuming that would be for an inpatient or someone who's been in intensive care, maybe.
Yeah, got a bed in the hospital.
Okay, so we're talking inpatient. Again, yes, because of liability. Because if something went wrong, because unless you're in the lab and you're testing things out, you don't know. There's no way for you to actually know 100%. So if someone has a reaction, yeah, it's going to come back on you. So even though I use moringa, I put moringa in drinks. My bad, bro. I don't have your moringa yet. But I will at one point. So you can hold me to that. But yeah, I use moringa, in my drinks. In fact, here's a green drink right here. So yeah, I work, saying in the medical and healthcare field, and I do these things. So yes, they work, keep yourself healthy. But in the hospital, I wouldn't do it. Unless that person's already, in recovery and, they can have regular foods and things like that, then I would say bring it. That way you won't get in trouble, other people won't get in trouble. Always cover your own ass. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? It's cover your own ass. That's it. So hey, all right, brothers, listen, I gotta go. I was
hold on, Sanjetti. When you do go tonight, you gotta do something. You gotta watch the video I made last night regarding that video you just watched. I made a critique of it.
All right, so just send it to me. I'll take a look at it. Again, thanks for having me, everybody. Enjoyed the conversation. I'm glad, nobody was arguing. Uncle trying to get us into a battle, but
nah, hell no, boy. I saved the battle. You don't know.
Good talking to you. Good talking to you.
Shit.
Yeah, brother X. Yeah, it was great meeting you, brother. So look forward to some more dialogue. Keep the questions coming. There was some good questions. Whatnot. No, I haven't actually studied that taxonomy chart in a while, but it's all good.
All right, no doubt, bro.
Hey, Jetty, man, appreciate you coming through, man. You know what it is, man. Hey, man, I'm a raw squad up, man. We'll get up. Yeah,
all right, I'm raw squad up, y'all.
Got that problem on the horizon, man.
Okay. Oh, wait, real quick. All right, so our listeners, make sure you get our book, The Shemsu Heru Research Team. Our book, a contribution to the debate on the meaning of the place named Kemet. So please do get that. And if you decide to get in the conversation, please read the book first. Okay? Please read the book first before getting in the conversation. All right. So and again, the Shimsey Herbal Research Team, it is Asar Imhotep, Mujah Eri Ma'at, and myself, Sanjeti Ankara. We put some articles together. That was these are actually simply notes put together for the ASCAP conference 2019 that occurred in New York, Medgar Evers College, and the more expanded version will be coming out later on this year. So
hey,
please
I got my piece almost finished for that, Sanjeti.
All right. So we'll build. All right, everybody. Peace. Have a good night.
All right, peace, Sanjay. Yo,
I see you, Alan. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? I was waiting for the I was waiting for the hidden color topics. I don't hear it.
Ah, man, we ain't talking about that dumbass shit.
That's in your title, bro.
Nah, it's not, man. Can you read it, man? Why you had to break the code of silence, man? Read the title.
What you talking about? I just looked at what the title said.
He coded it.
Read the title.
What does it mean?
Read it.
What does it mean?
Can you read it?
Pseudo killers, the harmful effects of our hidden colors.
There you go.
It's a code word, low key.
Talking about it ain't that. It's about as long as you're in the minor leagues, leave the goddamn pros alone. You will always get washed out and you will never be heard because they'll just fucking ignore you. Gotta do it right, Mr. Allen. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Know what it is. Let's talk about the misinformation, though. We can always talk about misinformation. What you want to talk about, Mr. Allen? What do you feel is misinformation? Let's talk about that.
I mean, I'll just hop on what I was just talking about as far as health and the gimmicks of the food. Since Jetty said one good thing, you got to be in the field to know exactly, to just know. You can't just say, take this one thing right here and this will do you. Take this nice little herb right here and this will do you. Matter of fact, drink this drink and this will cure all diseases. So when you do that, I'm saying that's a problem. I take that serious because I work in this field. I am a certified fitness nutritionist. That's what I am. That means that I can't work with people who are directly diagnosed with like diabetes. I have to get consent from their dietitian and I work with that person. So when I hear these things about milk and I hear all this crazy stuff, I just laugh because I'm like, how are you like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense to me. Once I hear that there's no assessment, there's no blood work, you're not taking into consideration how much protein, carbs, and fat that this individual needs for their body, what they allergic, and everything is just in the bottle, and that's it for you. Take this and you're good. Nah, I got a problem with that. So you got to watch out for that. Don't listen to no one who's telling you that this is going to cure this and this is the best thing. And look, we have the proof without you looking to see, is there a study on this? Is there a study on Sebiism? Do we have that? Can we go to the nutritional, the natural, we have black people that does this, natural holistic practitioners society. You can look this up and see it for yourself. There's black people in there. They have all of these things to show you, like, wait a minute, we do deal with holistic stuff, but we're not claiming that we can cure anything. We will see if this works with you or if you have any contradictions. You need to see that. And there's studies on this stuff. But if you don't see that, don't listen to it. That is the most dangerous, that is the most old-time pseudo hustle in the Black American community.
Let me add on to what you're saying, Alan. Like, for instance, I keep telling people feel that doctors in the medical establishment here in America is dishonest. But doctors do not say they can cure you. They never tell you that. Herbalists are the liars. They'll tell you they can cure you. Doctors will simply tell you they're treating your affliction. And they're giving you medicine to manage your affliction. That's it.
That's important, man. And then we have family members that are afflicted by some of these things. And then if you just look back in history, you see it. Everybody has a tonic. Polite has a memory tonic. You take this memory tonic, a memory tonic. You heard me. A memory tonic. You pay a couple $100 for this, and Don't tell me what's in the bottle, and you can remember it. And if you want to know where it's at, it's on his missing store. Just put in Web Archive 2012 stores and look right in the left-hand corner, and you will see this memory tonic.
Inky got one too.
So when you look at this, is deep though. This goes back to Noble Drew Ali. He has the medicine. It goes back to all of the people that have the name Professor Indo, Professor this, Professor that. There's a hustle. It's just upgraded with a little bit of more truth in it. With Max, for people who don't know. It's sad, man.
Yeah, and you're right. He won't tell you what exactly is in the bottle. The ingredients, you'll never know.
Isn't it by law you got to do that though?
Huh?
Don't you have to?
No, they don't follow no laws. They don't even have labels and shit. They just be selling shit freely.
I think that's illegal.
Yeah, if somebody reports it and they come look at you, then
Yeah.
If I make a tonic and say, all right, this is the tonic that could cure all immune deficiency diseases. You take this right here, I got you. You're gonna be cured. And they find out about that, they gonna pull me up on it. And you're like, all right, let me see.
This is how it works, Alan. It works as of January or a little last year. They started cracking down on holistic healers. So anyone can call the Department of Health and give them that person's website. They will close that website down if it's not has the proper language.
Well, let me say this real quick. I can't do nothing. I wouldn't be able to do nothing like that. Right? All I can do is arm you with the information. That way you know not to fuck with that shit. Right? I don't know about all that telling and calling shit. That's something. It's not in my blood to do that.
To what?
You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. But it's in my blood to teach you that that's a bunch of bullshit right there. Right? And I always say, well, the whole Dr. Sebi thing, we know what happened. Right? He got arrested, carrying too much money, right? Put him in jail. He got sick. Took him to the hospital. I think he had pneumonia. They took him to the hospital, right? Trying to help help him out. He left the hospital and went home, I guess, to work on himself, right? All right, they relocked him up. He went back to jail and he died. You know what I'm saying? I guess he didn't want to take the white man's medicine.
Yeah, they got conspiracy for that.
And, well, I mean, it's just that simple, you know? He wanted to cure himself. We had pneumonia, though. That white man medicine might have helped him a little bit. Hey, I know I'm joking, though, right?
Here's the thing with Sebi. Sebi has been ill for a while. In fact,
you know that.
Sebi, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you why and what clues. Okay.
You go. Oh, wait. So you medical doctor and clues?
No. I'm just trying to tell you the symptoms.
You sound like polite when he looking at the nigga left eye.
You should common sense and understand. An experienced person can tell you that.
Why you always swinging that? Why you always swinging that polite, man? I'm gonna bring him on the show, man.
Now listen, hold on, X. Let me just get this.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
So, Dr. Sebi passed out on stage in Philadelphia one time, and they had to bring a chair out to him. That means a person is low on energy, iron, and anemic. That was his problem. He wasn't getting no B12. Okay, this is the reason why, and I knew because I worked in the health field a little bit, but you will never see anybody doing interviews in bed under the covers. Sebi done that on 3 occasions. He does that because he's tired. He's low on iron, and he was weak. No grown man just lays up in bed and does interviews. So he's tired. He passed out on stage.
How he was old.
I'm just giving you I'm not saying this is a fact. I'm just saying this is what happens when you're older. When you're older, this is what happens. You don't have energy.
You suppose I just don't want to present it like it's scientific. Like if you just
in my opinion, when you're low on iron and you're older, you don't have energy. That's a fact.
All right. Okay.
Hey, let's take a break real quick, man. support our goddamn self, man. Support yourself to live, man. Abjuware. We got the no religion joints, man. Not particularly, in particular, right? I like what the shirt actually reads. It reads no religion. Scientific literacy. Journey from the stars. Abjuware. Okay? So, fashion, right? That connects you to the cosmos, man. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. So, we practice scientific literacy. And if you want to get back to nature, man, you got to be scientifically literate to really understand that in its total totality and detail. All right, so we take time out, man. Make sure y'all support Anime Productions, man. Beltrex coming out with the third installment. All right, detailing slave trade. All right, so we doing things, doing it right, right. That particular product actually is in the major league. All right, it's going around the world. Okay, but we're gonna get our game up around here, right? We too smart to lose, too intelligent for that. Our crowd is too smart, too goddamn intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And we can smell a rat around here. We know what's going on. So I won't be marked with generation that did not promote scientific literacy, did not promote the youth amongst them. I won't be part of that. Right? Y'all gonna know me for that dude that made sure that there was always a counter to that bullshit and calling bullshit bullshit. Trust me with that. You know what I'm saying? We got MBK in the building. You know what I'm saying? I'm a raw squad in the building. You know what I'm saying? Mossy Clan Warriors in the building. Pseudo killers on goddamn deck. You know what I mean? Got my man B More in here. You know what I'm saying? Shashu Monty Metanecha. Y'all know what it is, man. We just got to do better at really supporting, you know what I'm saying, what we doing. So, you know what I mean? Hey, man, support us. We support you. And, the whole thing, we go hand in hand at this particular point. I want to throw that in there, man, because it's all good around here. Now, back to the discussion. I think we had a good, hour and a half? Where we at there? We don't want to do it too long.
2 hours.
Right? It's a few things. We got Chief on here. Chief, you know how you got a hitman, right? He don't work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Mad Dog, he just come get him.
The Lone Ranger.
That's Chief right there. You know what I'm saying? We got his back. Trust me with that. We got his back. All right. I like what he do. Right? But we're gonna put together a serious, you know what I'm saying, epic documentary. We're not gonna do the fakeomentary. They got a lot of fakeomentary. Bud Lightyears made a fakeomentary. We got 5-part documentaries out there. All right, we're not doing that. Right? No amount of documentaries will ever change the mind of the pseudo. They are engulfed in pseudoisms. We're not looking for them. We're looking for those who are in pseudoisms, you know what I'm saying, and looking for and are intelligent and trying to move out. We're looking for the new people to come in so they don't waste their time. You know what I'm saying? Like Brother X, Double X Architect, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he came in, fucking with who he wanted to fuck with.
Hey, I wasn't fucking with no pseudo shit from the start. What you talking about?
That's what I'm trying to say, man. Stop trying to fight all the time, man.
Oh, I thought you heard you made a comment before that with niggas who are inside of some pseudo shit. You trying to get them out.
Come on, man. Put your guns back, man, if I had to shoot at you, man. Stop that, man. You know what it is around here, man.
Oh, man.
I shoot you up regularly, man. Matter of fact, you can barely drink water.
Yeah. Y'all be thinking y'all shooting. Y'all be hitting shit. Nothing.
Man, in that chat room, let them know. Let them know what it is, man.
How many bodies I done caught up here? Cube, Sosa. I ain't gonna run down the list, man. I wanted to talk to Chief X yesterday about that.
Yeah, where the hell is I'm Sosa at, man?
Hey, by the way, I seen people in the chat mentioning kale and spinach. Just to be clear again, I thought I'd talk to you guys. Kale, spinach, and all leafy green vegetables only have non-heme iron. Meat has heme and non-heme. All leafy vegetables is only heme. It's an incomplete iron. although it has iron.
Hey, Chief, I heard you got caught on that B12, yo.
B12.
Heard they kind of like trickology you a little bit there.
No, not really.
Yeah, he did. Where they at? Where you at, Double X? Bring that out a little bit. What was the statement, bro? Give me the statement on the B12.
Want to know my claim first?
Huh?
Want to know my claim first?
Before y'all get it in, somebody asked me something.
No, we're not gonna get it in.
Nah, before y'all get it in, some sister asked, what do you do if people are addicted to sugar? How do you get them to stop eating sugar?
Stop eating shit. Put the shit down.
No, it ain't that easy though. You know what I'm saying?
Self-will. That's all you can do is self-will.
It ain't that easy. You just switch the kind of sugar you eating. So you'll eat more fruits, which is a so-called natural sugar, and you will increase your protein because it takes 3 to 5 hours for the protein to digest in your body, and that will make you not hungry. You just increase that, increase your carbs, which is anything that grows out the ground is a carb. You just make it simple like that. And then you just read the labels. Look at the labels and look what you're reading. Anything that you look at and you see the back of it and you can't read what's on the back of that, you already know it's a processed food. So you eliminate processed foods from your diet. All your nice little cakes, your cinnamon cakes, you replace all of that with stuff that has natural sugars in it. There's a whole bunch of list of natural cakes with natural stuff with natural, and it tastes good. Just do that.
You got to be careful. This is what I did though, Alan. When I wanted to get a little more healthy, I only drink water. If I eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I'm having water after. No juices and no sodas. I did this for about a year before. And you cut out half your sugar intake just drinking water and not having juices and everything after your meal.
Yeah, it's hard to do that though for a lot of people. Like I was showing Kaba something, right? I walked in the store. So as I walk in the store, I put the camera on. The first thing you see when you walk in the grocery store is a million things of candy. So we looking at do people become addicted to sugar? This starts at a young age. When you come home from school, the ice cream truck is right there. Mommy, I want the ice cream. What do the parents do? They get that ice cream. This starts at that point. So now you're talking about somebody who's been doing this for all of these years, and now the reason people really change their diet is when they get type 2 diabetes, which Mr. Polite says it could be cured, but it can't. It only goes in remission, meaning that you don't get insulin or take medication. Anyway, moving on. When you deal with that, when you deal with the person that's addicted to sugar, it's just bad because normally people don't change until they get diagnosed with something. But if you're interested in it, I can give you some books, recommend some stuff, but you got to do it. It's hard because everything is around you that goes against you. The damn food store that's in your neighborhood is like a gun. But when you walk 30, 40 blocks away, when you get to that white neighborhood, all of that stuff ain't in there. That knowledge right there should let you know is the reason why Little Debbie Cakes is in the hood and they not downtown. Funny Bones is in that bad boy, but they not in that store downtown. The meat look like this, but it don't look like that downtown. That little knowledge right there should make you wake up to want to change your diet and how you eat. All right, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you. Go ahead.
Hey, Alan.
Yo.
Alan, what the hell is that on your head, man? What the hell is that?
Oh man, that's my turban. Allah Akbar, baby.
Like a damn cut off sheet, yo. You crazy as hell, yo.
Nah, that was one of my souvenirs when I went to the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? I went to Dubai and all them places over there.
What Double X at?
Huh?
Hey, Lex, talk at that.
What?
Hey, you getting that note together real quick?
What note?
Come on, man, about the B12 and the honey and all that, real fast.
Okay, let me just say what my claim was so people, the audience, can understand. My claim about B12 real quick. B12, which kind of synonymously works with iron. B12 is only found in meat and dairy sources. You can't get it in plants. You can get it in a plant called purple laver.
Hey, that's wrong.
Wait. Let me finish. Now, there may be out of 100 plants, 1 or 2, I think a grain, quinoa, does have B12.
Nope.
But in general, you can only get B12 from meat and dairy sources. You may have one rare plant or grain that you can get it from, but in general, only meat and dairy.
Go ahead, Double X.
Yeah, now you had confused it. I think what you meant with the quinoa was complete protein.
Okay, the quinoa is a complete protein.
Yeah, complete protein, and you can get it from soy too, and both of those are plant-based products. No, you put forward with the vitamin B12 that it was inside of. I mean, I don't really have issue with you saying it, but it was incorrect. But I know you were just trying to make.
What was incorrect? Be clear.
You said that you can get vitamin B12 from purple laver, nuri. It's a seaweed.
I don't know about a nuri. I said you can get B12 from a purple laver. That plant is called purple laver.
Yeah, its official name is nuri, and it's not an adequate amount once it's dried out. So you can't get vitamin B12 from any plant or seaweed in adequate supplies. You have to get it from a vitamin supplement if you're on a vegan diet.
Right, or you like you get, they have foods that are fortified.
Yeah, you can get it from that too. Yeah.
Hold on. They have foods that are fortified in B12, which means they have to add it to it. Yeah. But purple laverite, that's the only one I know of.
Yeah, I know. I looked that up because I was trying to fight you on that with mushrooms and shit.
And the thing about it, vegans don't even know about purple laver and don't even eat it.
Nope. Well, Inky just started promoting it.
Yeah, they got it from me.
Yeah, I know. What I was in contention with you last night, I was going to talk to you about something about. I had said you had lost the debate against Polite. That's what I had said. Now I need you to understand there's a difference between debate and information being correct. I didn't say Polite's information was correct. I said Polite beat you in the debate. He out-argued you. He was more convincing. If the conscious community was jurors, your ass would have been in jail for lying.
Let me explain something so you can understand, Double X. This is what you have to understand. What you just said in general was he entertained better.
And I said he presented better.
No. He didn't present at all. I'll break that down in a minute.
Okay.
What you're saying is he entertained better and flim-flammed better and sounded good. But his information was wrong. So what goes on is mature intellectuals can see through that. Maybe a younger generation like you and those other pseudos that follow him and his fans, they think he won.
Okay.
So the majority are pseudos, so the majority may think he won. But a grown man who got good common sense and understands and know what the topic is, there's nowhere in the world they could say Polite won because he didn't present on what the topic was.
He actually did though, Chief, and that's why.
Let me tell you what the topic is.
I got it. I can recite it back to you. I remember it.
Okay, but just let me just make it clear so you can understand. The topic was, it had a headline, vegan diet versus meat diet, but that wasn't really the topic. That was the headline.
It was meat.
Under that, the debate topic actually was meat iron versus plant iron, meat protein versus plant protein, and is milk nutritious?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what the topic was because I wrote it down, so like I can repeat it.
I just told you what it was, brother. I was in the debate. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm being real.
Okay. I think that my understanding is better than yours on this because I wrote it down, Chief. I need you to understand that. I wrote
it down too. I got the text. You want me to show you the text?
Yo, he's actually incorrect. Like it's more to the debate than what he just put forward. It was on the flyer. Let me say this, Chief, and then
let me be clear on what you're saying so I can understand. Are you saying that what I just said was not the debate topic
What I'm saying is that there's more to the debate. I can tell you the entire debate topic. You told me small sections of it. The debate topic was, here you go. The debate topic was, this is what was on the flyer: meat versus plant-based diet. Is fasting good? Is milk good for us? Animal protein versus plant protein. Animal iron versus plant iron.
Okay, that's just what I said, Triple X. But let me clear you up, because I'm the one talking to Sonetter and Polite before the debate and agreeing what we're going to talk on, this not talk on. The fasting thing you mentioned, I told Sonetter I don't have a problem with fasting. Fasting is fine and good. Me and Polite both agree on fasting, so we left that out. So again, the debate topic was meat protein versus plant protein, meat iron versus plant iron, and milk nutritious. Those three things were only the debate topic.
Okay. How would you know that, though? How the hell would you know that, Chief X?
Now, hold on. Let me tell you how
would you know the damn debate topic and Double X don't? How would you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I know it. And this is
that rhetorical.
This is an evidence on Chief X, and as far as his debate ventures are concerned, they put on the title Chief X, which according to what you're saying now, you were, not aware of. What I just told you is what they put on the flyer.
I just said, listen, we're arguing something. I just said I agree with all that. We both read what the topic was. I agree what they put on the flyer. I said, me and Polite and Sonetter before the debate went on said we would push away the fasting issue because I don't have a problem with that, and neither did he. You get it now?
I still understand what you're saying. I just wanted to add context. I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have a conversation about why Polite beat you in the debate. Because you said if you had
okay, let me just lay something out for you. Then it will be no questions after this. You're gonna say, okay, yeah, you did win, X. Let me just make it plain for you. I'm gonna give just common sense.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Check it out. Listen.
Hey, not gonna change his mind, yo. You mind?
Listen. Meat. Let's just do this. Iron and protein.
Shit.
I opened up with a presentation on iron and protein and broke down and told them why. I said about iron, heme iron and non-heme iron. And I said plant only has non-heme iron. I broke down about protein. He never made a presentation on that topic, on any of those things. If anyone said he did, they're lying. He didn't make a presentation on protein. He didn't make a presentation on iron. And then he said, I didn't talk about milk, and got all upset because I didn't talk about milk, because one of the topics was, is milk nutritious? So I said, okay, if you want me to talk about milk, I'll do that. And I broke it down with PubMed, and it broke down and said, overall, milk is nutritious for human beings, and I proved that. He never touched on it after that. He didn't touch on none of the three topics. This is why he continued to say after we had our little 8 minutes and stuff apiece. He said, I can't wait till we get to the questions and answers. Let's just skip all this. So, Netta, can we get to the questions and answers? He wanted to do that so he can freestyle. The debate was over at that point. It was 3-0. You're saying he won the freestyle part.
Keith,
that was the flim flam.
Keith, I need you to understand something.
No, I made it plain. Did he make a presentation on protein and iron? I can pull it up and show you he clearly did.
I can pull it up too because I wrote stuff.
Okay, so if you're saying he made a presentation on the debate topic, protein, iron, and the nutrition of milk, you are a bold-faced lie right here, because he did not. I watched that debate 10 times.
Say that one more time, Keith. The last part you said.
You're lying, nigga. You're lying.
If you're saying, listen to, let me say it one more time, so you can hear me clear. If you are saying he made a presentation on either iron, protein, or the nutritional value of milk, you're lying, because he didn't. Those three were the topic. He made no presentation on any of those. What he did was he and got to talk about amino acids.
Everybody freeze right there. Freeze. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where let the argument begin.
I know Don't let him do it, Chief. Don't do it, family.
No, see, I know how to cut the ring off. It don't take all that with me.
I am telling you this. I know. Trust me, this is the moment. The liar and all that, that's going to cost you, Chief. I had to cost you. Go ahead, Brother X. Level X Architect.
All right, Chief, you said that Polite didn't address, not address, you said he didn't present on milk. He didn't present on animal protein versus plant protein. And he didn't present on, I think you said the animal iron versus the plant iron.
Yeah, just 30 seconds, just 15 seconds, real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I know where you're going. I said what he did do was deflect. After I proved my points that meat protein was better than plant protein, and meat iron was better than plant iron, he deflected to talking about amino acids, and got to telling me that I only said 20 when there's 22. That's the only thing he did on protein, period. Because he couldn't do anything else, I made it plain and showed the proof already. It was dead. It was a first round knockout.
Let me respond to you before you start, making those official statements like that. Now, when you put forward that concerning what was it? I think you were talking about amino acids. You said that you can't get complete amino acids from plant sources. This is what you said.
I can say exactly what I said right now, so you can be clear, and we can then continue from that. Just so the audience.
Chief, you want me to give you?
I don't want you telling the audience what I said. I can tell you what I said.
You want me to put your time marker and play it?
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to be basic so we get some clarity and for the audience. Listen.
Go ahead.
I can tell you what exactly I said.
All right, tell me what you think you said. Go ahead, Chief.
Okay. Are you talking about amino acids, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I said plant protein. I'm doing this off the head. Plant protein. You have incomplete amino acids and you have complete amino acids. Meat is complete amino acids.
You mean protein?
Yeah. Meat protein is complete protein. Plant protein is incomplete protein. It doesn't have all of the amino acids, is what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, in general, I'm just, because I know where you're going, it's about to get petty. So hold on. I'm gonna cut the ring off for you so it won't get petty. Now, listen. What he tried to do was flim-flam you and play with your mind. I'm trying to tell you what he did. I'm trying to educate you, Triple X. What he did was, I said, I'm just basically saying in general, plant protein is incomplete protein. Okay? Now, if you have 100 plants, you can find 2 out of the 100 that are. And those 2 are quinoa and I think hemp seeds. Okay? So if you want to give them that 2 out of 100, I'm fine with that. I didn't mention it. But I'm just in general, hold on. I'm just in general saying that plant protein is incomplete protein. Now, if someone's pulled out 1 or 2 plants out their ass out of 100 of them and said, "Okay, this is complete." Okay, that's cool. I didn't mention quinoa.
Well, it's not that, Chief. This is the thing. Now you're adding the term in general. During the debate, that term in general wasn't employed. You strictly said and explicitly said plant protein is incomplete protein. Meat protein is complete protein. What I need you to understand, in a debate forum, we're dealing with specificity here, Chief. When you say, hold on before you start going in, when you say plant protein is incomplete protein, the impression that you make upon the audience's mind is that Exactly that. Plant protein is
And
incomplete
here you
protein.
go playing this dumb game right now, man.
Oh
Come on,
God, we
y'all
got the
wasting
African
time.
hunter out here.
Y'all wasting time. Like, why you even doing this? You do this with everybody that come on the
We
platform.
got
Like,
Donnie Thornberry in
if
the
you gonna
building.
get your spill out, get your spill out. Get
Okay,
your spill
Now,
out. That don't mean nothing to me.
we got
but
George in the
let
jungle out here.
hold on. Let me clarify.
We got George in the jungle.
Slow down, everybody, slow down. Everybody, slow down. Now,
What's up, Sean?
I never. Can you guys hear me?
You know, Sean good though, Sean. He ain't tripping. He doing good, yo. He got his.
Nah, man. Man, he irritating the audience with the same old argument every day with somebody new, man. That's boring.
The same arguments and
You ain't educating nobody though, man. You just arguing for argument's sake. Let him and Polite have their argument, bro. You said he lost. Chief X, you lost. You ain't gonna convince him, bro. You ain't gonna convince him. I told you that.
The point is in
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Slow down.
this is George in the jungle.
Hold on, double X, slow down.
Yup. George of the jungle, all of that. Yup. One time for Africa.
George of the jungle. Who the hell is George of the jungle? What the hell?
Nah. I'm repping all that. West Africa, baby. All that.
No.
All that. Culturally grounded. Not stupid and ignorant.
I thought I was falling asleep and y'all done turned. What in the hell just happened here?
Hey, man. Listen.
Can you let me and him just finish first?
Yeah,
don't waste your time, Chief.
They was having a good
I just
discussion.
want to come on. I need to clarify something. Slow down, y'all.
We're gonna wait for the Chief to jump off the ledge. I'm waiting. You doing good, Chief. I'm waiting for you. Oh, he got that hat on backwards. Hold on, Sean.
Hold on. So here's the thing. This is what Double X is doing. I'm trying to make it clear for the audience. This is what Double X is doing. Okay. First of all, the debate. I'm trying to give a clear understanding. First of all, the debate happened because Polite was on YouTube saying the opposite. He was saying that plant protein is complete protein and that meat protein is incomplete protein. He was wrong about that. That's why I challenged him to the debate. Okay. Polite never ever said what I was saying. Okay. So I challenged the debate. Now, out of all those things, he found one thing, quinoa, and you gonna lean his goddamn way? Like really. It's 99. It's 99 plants that are incomplete and one complete, and you just gonna lean his way. He got 1 out of 100.
I'm not even done. I
got 99 out of 100, and he got 1 out of 100, and you gonna lean his way.
Chief, you gotta let me talk so you can understand.
No, let's be clear what you're doing. You gotta understand what you're doing.
I am, Chief. I know what I'm doing. If you let me talk, what I'm trying to tell you.
You make things so petty where you confuse the audience.
I'm not. Chief.
Hold on, X. The audience needs to know that in general, plant protein is incomplete protein, period.
Yeah, but
now, if you want to be petty, yeah, you found one quinoa, which is actually a grain. It's actually a grain. So he found one that was a grain that is complete.
So they ran around on planet Earth.
Yeah, for you to say he won based off that is total exaggeration in a personality.
It's more than one. It's more than one.
Intellectual gunfight. Don't throw no. Come on.
Okay, let me explain something right there, Chief. If you were in a court case presenting how you presented, yo, I'm telling you, you'd have been locked up because you didn't present stuff properly. Like you left shit out. Now you taking words and trying to put them in there. You didn't say that.
Now you're lying, bro. You telling me
Can I talk for a second? Yo, you did not say in general. You just said straight out.
I did not say in general. I did not. You're right.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking? You got his pinky up. Oh, he's sipping on you.
No, ginger ale heals everything. Didn't your mama tell you?
I ain't know that.
About this myth. Yo, Chief X, you said that.
Oh, let me introduce my comrades though, man. Shout out to Sean Mossy Clan, man. You came in throwing blows. What's up, bro?
I ain't got a problem with Sean. I'm just always trying to cook him.
Yo, good. Shout out to Wu Jia, the master teacher. What's going on, Wu Jia? How you doing, bro?
Hey, peace, y'all, but man, y'all gotta cut back on that master teacher stuff, man. That's a little too much sauce right there.
Hot sauce, super master teacher.
Yeah, y'all.
After that video I seen, nigga, you a super master teacher, nigga.
But peace to the panel though. I'm just coming in on tail end of everything. I see Chief X and X having it out. So I'm just
I'm done with that comment. We can move on.
He done when I start presenting why you took it.
No. First of all, you're not hearing me.
You gotta hear what he said.
I'm not telling you that all your information was wrong and Polite's information.
I know, but you're missing the part when I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing, saying, yeah, quinoa is a complete protein. I left that one out.
Hey,
so we can move on.
Hey, check this out. We got about 1 minute and 30 seconds on that topic. We learned how to cut it short. We've learned. So y'all gotta let X say what he was saying. I think I kind of understand what he's saying. Something about you lost, but you didn't lose. But you won, but you lost, but you didn't win, but you lost, you did lose. It goes like that. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that
Double X.
Polite counterpunch Chief X every damn round. Every fucking round he was hitting you with some shit, like when you would drop your jab, yo.
That's in your mind.
Okay, let me
go for it.
You got that man talk, man. Be specific.
Okay, be specific.
Yeah,
Chief, hold on. We gotta have some rules here. That man ain't say nothing while you talk, man. Come on, yo. We trying to have some fun. Let him say what he say. We only got 1 minute 30 left.
Remember at the end, Chief, he made you throw a temper tantrum.
He's not using this minute wisely.
Chief, fall back, baby.
Yeah, use this minute wisely. Go ahead.
I'm trying to, brother, but I keep getting interrupted. Chief,
what about the counterpunch? Hold on, get back to the counterpunch.
That's why I'm going back to it. He counterpunched him on damn near every round, if not every round. First, when you presented on amino acids, I agree with you, yo. It was petty that he brought up that there were 2 more additional amino acids. It was petty, but nevertheless, you said that there were 20 amino acids. Then, even if that one right there was petty, the next one when you said that,
no, but let's be clear. Be clear for the audience on amino acids. Can you clear it up for the audience because you know the truth, but you're leaving it out? Right?
Yeah, there are 20 amino acids that are part of the genetic code, and then Polite was referencing the 2 additional amino acids, selenocysteine and pyrrolysine.
Right. So in a sense, what they say is there is 20 amino acids. I'm correct on that.
Yeah, but you got to be specific.
Hold on. Listen. The other 2 are considered synthetic amino acids sometimes.
Non-canonical or non.
Right. So I was correct. There was 20 amino acids. There's just 2 synthetic ones.
Now remember, when you're arguing, you have to be specific. Chief.
I don't have to be specific. Those are that's
Chief, come on, Chief. But you gotta shut up and let him talk. That's the only thing you gotta
do. Okay, go ahead.
Chief, lawyers are specific. You have to be specific when you're debating. That's why you were getting counterpunched, because you weren't pulling your jab back to your face. Every time you did something, Polite countered you. When you put
specifics.
Okay, specifics. When you said that there were 20 amino acids.
You said that 3 times already. Next.
When you said that plant protein was incomplete protein.
Was I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong because you said.
This is what I mean. You're not utilizing your minute well. We just talked about plant. We going back to plant again?
I'm going through.
I thought you only had a minute.
Every time I start moving forward, I gave you just two times right there. Then when we get into milk, you gave a presentation on milk. Polite responded to it, and he went on his pseudo rant. You didn't counterpunch him at all.
No, he never made a presentation on milk. Don't lie to the public like that, bro.
He did. He told you that.
No, he did not make a presentation on milk, bro. I watched it.
Euphemism for pus. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but pus, he was wrong. You're talking about pus. Pus is not milk.
Oh my God. What I'm telling you is that he presented an argument against why milk would be something that you should pursue for dietary intake. You were not able to counterpunch him.
No. You got it wrong. I explained that. You got it wrong. Man. You're lying right now. Listen to what I'm saying. Let me tell you. Listen. I made it.
Hey, hold on. Minute up. Let's go. Let's move forward, yo.
man. Come on,
Yeah,
let's.
we ain't trying to get to the end of that shit. That's a 10-hour joint right there. We ain't doing that no more. We learn around here, man. We throw a little fun in and have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Burn a little energy, man. Let's get back into the intelligent discussion, man. It's Friday night. We don't want to waste time. No discussion is really a waste of time. But we know how long we need to let shit go. All right. Maybe y'all got something from that. Y'all can look up amino acids and all that and the proteins and y'all can do that. All right. So my real concern is that now we actually have products on the market, and we've had it on the market for like the last 3 years, man. And now it's heavily starting to go into health issues. Okay, scientific literacy, man, is very important, and then maybe Wuja actually talk about that. But the literacy aspect of it is important to our community. Let me give you 5 facts, right? Oh, I know what I need to do real quick. KW Don 7. He said, what about the case in Kenya where he gave the number on? It's supposed to be what, 500,000 women? But it was 500,000 or hold on.
I wrote that down. I was gonna
Yeah, that's pseudo. That's pseudo all the day, man. That's misinformation. 500,000 women or whatever it is, or 50,000, I don't know what it is, women were sterilized after being administered in a UN tetanus vaccine. Yes, that's not right.
He also said should Africans on the continent accept vaccinations from outside sources such as Bill Gates Foundation when his goal is population control.
So wait, he just said 3 things. Where you at, KW Don 7? With all that, you need to get on there and explain that because I don't understand none of that. Who, Bill Gates? What's the connection? Can we see a source in the connection? We need to really figure that out. You need to need some clarity on that. Yeah, what are you saying? You're just throwing stuff out there now. You know, you got the conspiracy on lock. So let me put something in the chat room for y'all. It's called the statement from the WHO and the UNICEF on the tetanus vaccine in Kenya. All right, put it up here real quick. Send that to y'all real fast. Put it in the thing. I'm gonna let you read over real quick, X. Hold on. Damn. Yeah, man, I appreciate all the support, man. In this next year and a half, man, we're gonna be putting together.
You hear this Fitzroy character? He said, "I've taken a liking to polite." Nigga, are you fucking retarded?
Don't let him get you. He in the peanut gallery. He is retarded because we gave him the daggone thing. And there's space on here to get that whipping. We're not gonna cut you off, right? It was a serious discussion. We're gonna make sure it's right. No over talking each other like buffoons and can't nobody hear nothing. No, we had our fun a couple shows. Now we kind of bringing it down. And now and then, we'll let it flare up. We got to get back under control. We can't do it like that. Can't do it. We cannot do that. From this point going forward, man, we got to really be focused on making the big leagues, yo. Information is big leagues, but the way it's being disseminated in the community, that ain't going down right. You're behind. You got that right there, X? Double X?
You put it in a live chat? Where you put it?
I put it in our chat to the right. Let's look at the screen. Real quick. And I'm gonna give it to the audience right there.
All right, where you want me to start reading? The whole shit?
Start reading right there. You want to give their statement. Go ahead.
All right. Statement from who, and you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, you can if you want.
All right. Statement from WHO and UNICEF on the tetanus vaccine in Kenya. The World Health Organization and the United Nations Children's Fund expressed their deep concern about the misinformation circulating in the media on the quality of the tetanus toxoid vaccine in Kenya. The allegations are that the tetanus vaccine used by the government of Kenya and UN agencies is contaminated with a hormone HCG that can cause miscarriages and render some women sterile. These grave allegations are not backed up by evidence and risk negatively impacting national immunization programs for children and women. Human chronic, not chronic, excuse me, human chorionic.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I don't know what that is.
Chronic.
That's some. I think that may be a hormone. Oh yeah, that's a hormone.
John, yeah.
Yeah, HCG is a hormone produced by the placenta during pregnancy. HCG is also produced in the pituitary glands of males and females of all ages. However, very high levels pose risk to pregnancy. We have taken note of test results claiming to show levels of HCG in samples submitted to some clinical laboratories. However, it is important to note that testing for the content of a medicine, e.g., TT vaccine, needs to be done in a suitable laboratory and from a sample of the actual medicine/vaccine obtained from an unopened pack and not a blood sample. Furthermore, the pharmacy and poison boards, the legally mandated national regulatory authority, has the capacity and mandate to determine the quality, safety, and efficacy of medicines and to advise the government accordingly. WHO and UNICEF confirm that the vaccines are safe and are procured from a pre-qualified manufacturer. This safety is assured through a three-pronged global testing system, and the vaccine has reached more than 130 million women with at least 2 doses of TT vaccines in 52 countries. Given most tetanus cases in Kenya are among newborns, the target group of Kenya's TT vaccination campaigns is girls and women 15 to 49 years of age, with a particular emphasis on those in the most marginalized areas. We note with concern that Kenya is one of the 25 countries where tetanus is still a public health problem, killing hundreds of newborns every year. WHO and UNICEF reiterate our readiness to support the government of Kenya in its efforts to provide safe and quality assured vaccines for the immunization programs. That's
All right.
it.
There you go. Official statement. There's some science in that statement. Go get it, break it down, copy and paste it in your search engines, and figure out what the hell they was just saying right there. All right.
You see how they're counting you on? They'd be like, "That's just the white man testing himself."
Yeah. Y'all stupid.
How you respond to that now?
That's the Kenyan government right there, man. The government officials. Did you read? They say government officials.
But you know the white man. Do you know the Kenyans are the puppeteer marionettes of the white man? How you respond to it?
Yeah. Probably right there. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the consensus. Where you at, Wuja? Wuja, where you at?
I'm right here. What's going on?
So let's talk about what a consensus is for a minute. All right. So we dispelled the myth of the women babies or what they say the women are sterilized. We killed that real quick. We probably come with thousands of articles on that. Let's talk about the consensus on vaccines. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, no.
What's the scientific consensus? Let's start there. I won't put you in there.
Well, consensus in science is a little different than how people use it, just like the word theory. Scientific consensus is usually when hypotheses are falsified or attempted to be falsified and are not falsified by multiple scientists in different areas or different locations among different groups. And then they come to a consensus or an agreement on the fact that a hypothesis cannot be falsified. Versus the layperson's using consensus, just a bunch of people agreeing to something, but doesn't necessarily have to go through any rigor or testing. So that's a big difference. And a lot of people will argue and violate a logical fallacy in their argument by appealing to consensus. So they'll jump off and say, "What's the consensus? What's the scholarly consensus?" Not even delving into whether any work was done on a particular issue. So just because if you look up that logical fallacy of argument for consensus, it will tell you that just because a lot of people agree to something doesn't make it true.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just should be common sense, but it's not common sense. So science takes it an extra step, and the consensus is really the agreement after testing, after rigor was applied to attempt to falsify hypotheses.
Thank you. Got you with that. Where you at, Sean? Where you at?
Walking in the house, what's up?
You add something to it?
Nah, I agree. See, clean it up.
I mean, you don't know what he said. You jump out of nowhere.
He did, man. He just said and told you what the consensus is.
No,
And
I'm
most
saying
people use
kind of got to be on that. So I think
okay.
we just got what consensus is,
Yeah.
and get you the consensus of vaccines. Like the consensus is that vaccines are safe, right, and do not cause autism or none of the shit we heard in that reel of
In that
food.
video. Yeah, so
None of that. They gonna
yeah.
get beat up down the line with that. They lost their mind. Matter of fact, they need to leave that part out of it. Right. Leave that out. Don't put that in there. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, based on the video, that was played.
Cut the vaccines out the joint, and you might get spared.
You
Leave it in
sure?
there, you're done. I'm gonna let that down.
What I would add to that would be if you listen to that video and all the stuff that went on and all the people that argue against vaccines, you have to ask yourself what lab are they in at the time that they're trying to come up with all of these things that they're telling us making up the reasons why vaccines are bad. What are they testing in a lab that would say vaccines are bad? Are they just reading some literature, or do they have someone that's doing some breaking groundwork that they actually can present to a people to show, look, from our research, this is what this vaccine is actually doing to X, Y, and Z. So they would have to test this up against a different animal or whatever they want to use in the lab to prove their point based on their research. If their research is simply going with what such and such said, then that's not good enough. They gotta go and show us a breakdown of this vaccine. Why is it so bad? What's in it that is causing the rat, the mouse, the pig, the cow, the monkey, whatever they're testing in the lab to react a certain way? Because this is what they're testing vaccines on, are some of these animals. And then if it takes 12 to 15 years for a vaccine, or 13 years for a vaccine to actually come out, then how are you so quick to say that it doesn't work when it took them dang near 12 to 13 years to even put it forth?
Yeah, you a little bit short. 20 years, 8 to 20 years, and it's normally the long way. It's normally the next thing, and it's normally the 20. So so real quick. Let's add in real quick now that man, $500 million, right? Investment just to start the vaccines. Vaccines are more scrutinized than actual medicine. Vaccines is not a medicine. Okay? Not that. Not a medicine. All right. It's a dead pathogen, virus, not a medicine. 50, I mean, 500, $500 million, $500 million investment for starters. All right. So these drug companies, these pharmaceutical companies, they're in it to make money. Okay. They're in it to make money. So that's why you still got so there's a lot of vaccines that can actually be worked on that will help low income communities, specifically the Black community. They call them tropical diseases or poor man diseases, and they're in poor low income places that actually cause a lot of neurological defects in children in these communities. And man, the drug companies won't touch it because they can't make no money off of it. And I give the example of in 2014 when the Ebola broke out, over 17,000 people died. Sierra Leone, a couple other places, they died. And they actually had vaccines on deck, okay, in labs, in freezers, frozen. Why wasn't they pushed forward? Because it wasn't a demand for it, and there wasn't no money, and we sure as hell not going to spend no money on these African peoples on the continent. It's a fact right there. And so the question is, when it broke out this year, right, it go from 17,000 people dying in 2014 to about 12 people dying. Why was that? Because Merck had actually brought the patent on the vaccine and actually produced it in large numbers, stockpiled, because they had more investors, because other countries start coming in. Why did other European nations start adding money to the ticket? Because they was actually afraid back in 2014 that it would spread to them. And so you already know when you start talking about it coming over here, we don't want to bring it over here. We're gonna spend some money on it. But when it was just dedicated to African people, nobody cared. So I'm not sitting here saying that other nations, you know what I'm saying, will care about Africa. I'm not saying that. And I don't presuppose Africa and African nations shouldn't be thinking that other people might do that for them. They do. They do get a lot of help at times, right? But one thing's for certain, two things for sure, they ain't putting nothing in it to kill them. Nobody spends $500 million just to lose it, just to kill African people and African Americans or the human population. From a business perspective, that makes absolutely no sense. Follow the money.
Population control?
Couldn't hear you.
How do you respond to claims of population control?
They need to control their population. They need to control their damn self of ignorance. So control the population, right? Let me tell you something. Nature is a natural population controller. Out of 99% of all human beings, out of 99% of all living organisms, okay, that's ever showed up on the planet, 99% of them have died. Killing machine, this planet Earth is. Okay? Kill far more people than humans ever could, planet Earth, with these pathogens and viruses. So I don't want to hear that. No one invests that kind of money just to, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, kill you. All right? The money is in the cure because you're going to always get sick. Earth has established that planet Earth actually thrives off of death, meaning out of death on planet Earth springs life. You can look at the salmon as they go back up river, right? Go to places where the salmon go back up river, right? Bears eat them, right? They live. A time they get all the way upstream and die and float onto the banks and stuff, and they die. Those same nutrients that's in those fish actually feed the forest. So death feeds life on planet Earth, right? We talk about the mass extinctions that occurred, right? Out of these mass extinctions comes life, flourishing life, right? So no one needs to try to kill people when the money is in trying to cure people. The money is trying to keep your ass alive to need more drugs, to spend more money. That's what it is. That's the business. It's not to kill you. You're already gonna die. That's a given. So I just wanted to say that, right? Just make that point there. Follow the money on how much it costs to bring these vaccines, and you'll get a lot of your answers. Too much money. People don't look. Money talking, bullshit walk, man. Only in the conscious community can you just throw that shit out there and it makes sense. But to them people investing, 100 million here, 50 million there, another 100 million there, and only for the goddamn vaccine not to work and stop working in the middle of the test trial. right? So vaccines don't even be working in the middle of the test trial sometimes, and they got to go back at it and invest more money. Man, that's the hardest thing to bring forward. That's the most tested thing you got is those vaccines. So, you know what I mean? Them pseudos are officially out of there. We just got to get on platforms big enough, you know what I'm saying, to deal with that. Go ahead, bro. I said something.
Yeah, let me just say this, piece of the panel, peace out. You know, with them guys, you know, they know what the science is, but it's money and deception these days, man. Like this, you know, a lot of them are conspiracy theorists, and when you put up that vaccine gonna harm you, stuff like that, get a lot of views. Unfortunately, because people, you know what I mean, because people gonna work off that fear. But when you really think about it, it's really simple. Like, vaccine is a luxury, bro. Point blank, period. Like, to have access to vaccine is some first world stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's really bottom line when it comes down to it. Once you realize that, there ain't even no more to even talk about. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's a luxury. Other places would love to have vaccines, man. The Native Americans would love to have a vaccine. You know what I'm saying? They still have their country if they had vaccines. So, you know what I mean? So it's crazy for it to even go that far.
That was a good one.
You said the Native Americans Can we slow that down for the listening audience? The Native Americans would still have their land if they had vaccines.
Real talk.
That's a fact, man. I say that's a fact. So you're right there, brother. I like that. We'll note that. And we'll use that. So let's real fast do the 5 things. Let's go to the Pew Research Center. All right, let me put it in the chat room for you. Put that in the chat room. Real quick. Chat room real quick. Yeah, they're just not gonna. Science is undefeated, y'all. Pseudos ain't gonna get us. We just gotta get on bigger platforms, put our message out. And you wanna hear about a goddamn conspiracy? Why is it that places like the Breakfast Club, right, take advantage of our ignorance? They never promote science on that motherfucker, man. Y'all notice that?
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't gotten popular enough to where that would get promotion. Like Polite wasn't always on the Breakfast Club. He got to the Breakfast Club through gaining notoriety.
Darnetta actually pushed that line. Really, it occurred. It was genius. It occurred through Men of World Peace. Genius. I mean, you can't knock the hustle. So
that had the platform that really like just made him a huge figure, and then his ability to communicate.
Yeah, he's a good communicator.
Actually got him notoriety, and then that's how we met Meta, and then Meta went to the Power 105, and I'm not Power, whatever station that is, and then from Meta bringing him there, he talked, and that's how he got on there.
Yeah, I don't mind a little pseudo, right? It's one thing when it's harmless, like abos. You know what I'm saying? They ain't hurt nobody. But when you start talking about health, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's getting dangerous because some parents gonna hear that and they not gonna vaccinate their kids, man. And you might cause somebody to lose their child or to lose their loved one. And that's when it gets dangerous.
Sosa. Have you ever asked yourself, like, well, have you ever thought about it, like how parents always complaining, like, my kid always go to daycare and end up sick?
Yeah.
You know, have parents ever really thought about why their child getting sick? Then they want to blame the other kids, and they want to say, well, it's ain't nothing but a bunch of germs at the daycare, a bunch of snot-nosed kids or something like that. But if you go to the daycare, you don't see a bunch of snotty-nosed kids. You see a few snotty-nosed kids.
Hey, you're right.
And every last one of them parents is probably didn't even get no shots.
They make them get shots. Let's go to the peer research real quick.
Hey,
question.
go ahead.
Just real quick. since y'all talking about vaccines, right? Have you already determined or discussed if vaccines are anti-biblical?
He's anti-biblical. Let's hear it. Let's hear that one.
Wait.
I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know if that was in God's plan. Like, are vaccinations? Wouldn't vaccinations be altering what God had in plan, like what nature is doing and stuff?
Yeah.
I think God may have made a few mistakes that we have to correct for him.
Yo, crazy. That's funny, yo. Yeah. Anti-biblical.
No, I was asking because a lot of people who get vaccinated, they are of one of the Abrahamic systems, and I was wondering what does the Bible say in regards to vaccinations and that whole concept to vaccinate, because it isn't it to eliminate or help the body defend itself against something else that God created, right? So I don't know. I don't want to start that, but all right.
The Bible had lepers running around, so they might be against vaccination and shit. Niggas running around with leprosy and shit.
Oh man. So we can come to this article right here.
Because think about it. Imagine if God sent a plague, because one of the things that God does if you don't obey him, he sends you a plague. And so imagine if humans developed a vaccine for the plague that God sent you, and what God tried to do, it don't work.
You
But anyway,
giving them ammunition. You giving them ammunition, Bujawa.
Yeah, sorry.
Somebody could use that. I promise you. Somebody could use that.
What they gonna use?
As God's will.
Oh man. I want to read this article for y'all. UN court vaccines can be blamed for illnesses without scientific evidence. That sounds interesting, right?
Say it again.
What happened to Allen?
Europe court, I don't know. He must have disappeared.
Wujaro showed up.
Dang, man.
See, don't do the shit. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh, man.
That's dirty, Chief. That's dirty shot.
Yeah. Okay. We get on this, yo. We unified when we get on this motherfucker, man. We got some work to do, man. I know you've been saying it for years, Ujah, man. Serious, yo. It's gonna take some money to be serious this round. Yeah, we had to. That's truth. Yeah. So, the title of this article is "Vaccines Can Be Blamed for Illnesses Without Scientific Evidence." That's in Europe. All right, I think they court actually ruled on that. Now, how crazy is that? Hold on. That is crazy.
You gonna share the screen?
Yeah, hold on. Put it in the chat first. Illness. Out. Scientific evidence. Get it to y'all real quick down. All right.
Hey, Double X, are we Facebook friends?
Nah. You know what? I'm gonna send you a request.
You know, under Variant Xavier.
Variant Xavier, yeah, I got you, bro. I've been fucking with you for a minute. I told you got me off of veganism.
Cool.
I ain't never say that your stance was wrong. I just said it in the damn debate. That's the only thing I was talking to you about.
I got you.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
You know that.
No doubt, bro.
You know that dude that was that runs the decathlon. He's a full blown vegan.
You know what? Shit, what the hell you mean?
Well, I think, but you know, he studied on, like, he's like extra precise with it though. I just thought that was interesting because I know a lot of people struggle. You know, a lot of athletes don't. They weren't against it. That's why I thought it was interesting to find out that he was. And the decathlons, that's just a lot. That's real intense.
Ignorance. God equals ignorance. That's the theme, y'all. God equals ignorance. Oh, Seiko, here we go right here. We got it. This is the most craziest thing ever right here. I hope I put that in the chat room.
Somebody was like, "What's the difference between the vaccine and the drug?" I was letting them know that drugs
No.
treat a disease, vaccines prevent a disease.
Right. Man. What a drug is shit. Alcohol is a drug. Huh? Yeah, alcohol is a drug. What? Alcohol is a drug.
Tell her what Umar said though. Were you reading it? You reading it?
Read what?
Oh, I guess tell her what Umar said. He was like, he said, to give you a little bit of the virus before in the vaccine. He said, if you got AIDS, you want them to give you a little bit of AIDS, to cure from AIDS. Maybe he's making that statement. Dr. Umar.
Yeah, it's great. Umar said that?
Yeah, I think you played it.
Yeah, Umar said that.
He was the one that played it. I bet you. I thought you was.
So here,
he was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he was one of those people against vaccines. He was telling them, he said, yeah, he said, y'all keep giving the vaccine. They give your kids like, he said, when you had the flu, they give your kids the flu. Yeah. So he's like, if you got AIDS, you want them to give you AIDS? You understand?
So, man, see, that shit just frustrates me, man. That the leadership or perceived leadership in the community, right, actually teach pseudoscience, man. How we gonna make that, man? We doomed. EU court vaccines can be blamed for illnesses without proof. Said share my screen. Man.
Where that's at?
Here, I'm gonna give it to you. Here you go.
That's in America?
UK.
Yeah, UK a lot of but there's different politics.
I'm gonna put it right here for you. Put in that spot right there, X.
But the
Yes, the people choose their leaders and entertainers. So like majority of us are 80%. Well, I'll say 20% are intellectuals and 80% will be non-intellectuals. So there's more pseudos than real cats. You know what I mean? So they choose their leaders and entertainers and people who's popular, and they support them and things like that.
Yeah, but Umar trying to doggone damn start a school, man. Come on, you can't have nobody start. You got to go against him ASAP. He's trying to build a whole goddamn school with these ignorance.
So here you go right here. Y'all can see my screen. EU court vaccines can be blamed for illnesses without proof. CBS. CBS News. London. The highest court of European Union ruled Wednesday that courts can consider whether a vaccination has led to someone developing an illness, even when there is no scientific proof. The decision was issued on Wednesday in relation to the case of Frenchman known as Mr. JW, who was immunized against hepatitis B in the late 1998 to 1999. About a year later, Mr. JW was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. In 2006, he and his family sued vaccine maker Sanofi Pasteur in an attempt to be compensated for the damages they claim he suffered due to the vaccine. Mr. JW died in 2011. French Court of Appeal ruled there is no causal link between hepatitis B vaccine and multiple sclerosis and diagnosed and dismissed the case. Numerous studies have found no relationship between hepatitis B shot and multiple sclerosis. Shit. On Wednesday, the EU top court said that despite the lack of scientific consensus, while we talked about that earlier, on the issue, a vaccine could be considered effective if there is specific and consistent evidence, including the time between vaccine administration and individuals' previous state of health, that lack of any family history or disease, and scientific It's my fault. And significant number of reported cases of disease occur following the vaccination. In the statement, the court said that such factors could lead a national court to conclude that the administrating of a vaccine is the most plausible explanation for the disease, and that the vaccine therefore does not offer the safety that one is entitled to expect. It did not rule on the specific French case. Man, I don't finish reading that, but man, that's frightening right there.
Yeah, but that's in the UK though.
Yeah, that's interesting, man.
That's in the UK. They got different rules. It's like just with like yo, what happened to Titans TV? He still work? Because I heard that they stopped letting them niggas go to that little square that they were used to go to in order to do debates.
They're doing too much.
In the UK, their policies are crazy.
Yeah, they do what they want to do. They policy.
You know what happened to Titans TV? Is he still he's still popping or like he stopped? Because I know
he's still around. Ain't now then.
What was that circle they used to get into called something talk?
You just said it. You just said it.
No, not Titans TV. No, they used to go to this little square, like what's
Speaker's Corner. Speaker's Corner.
Speaker's Corner. Yeah, I think they shut that shit down.
Yeah, they got a fight out there one day. Chase Kalam around or something. I mean, seriously, yeah, some guy came up on him, yo.
Oh yeah, some Muslims they used to be talking to. That shit was funny as hell.
That shit ain't funny. I ain't watched that. I ain't even watched.
Nah, I wouldn't let no nigga chase me. I'm fucking you up immediately.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, you gonna stop me from talking.
Yeah, that shit crazy. Hey man, so look, we got about 113 people in chat room, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. We don't want to go too long, man. Okay, Biggest Corner ain't shut down.
Okay, I just heard that's something I heard. Hey, Chief, I sent you a request. I don't know if you like check your friend request and shit, but I sent you that shit.
What's your name?
Corey.
Corey?
Hey. Biggest Corner. Hey, look, man. Hey, closing words, man. Hey, we gotta get better at what we do. We surely will. Support Abs You Wear, no religion. Y'all know what it is, man. All right. ABDJU.
Yo, you know what we gotta have a discussion about? Is the information from Hidden Colors of a benefit to our community or of a disbenefit to our community? Because we can't deny the inspiration that it gives you. However, it miseducates you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's more important, to be inspired or to have something to actually, you know what I mean? Like, what's more important, to be inspired and have nothing to go to after you're inspired?
So you can be inspired by someone saying, "Hey, melanin gives you superpowers," and you inspired that you got superpowers.
Yeah. Niggas inspired by that.
Yo, but haven't we been through that era before?
Yeah.
Haven't we been through the era of inspiration before?
Yeah, with Elijah Muhammad. But look, it produced the inspiration.
I'm saying even before then.
People gotta have a starting point.
Yeah, like J.A. Rogers.
Yeah, we had a bunch of feel good stuff. Like long before. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, people gotta have a starting point. I mean, a lot of us started from J.A. Rogers. I mean, J.A. Rogers, he was great. Like, his information might not have been 100% correct, but a lot of black people got their first information about black history and studied more from reading his works. So
yeah,
J.A. Rogers was okay, but he was practical. He wasn't spooky.
Yeah, J.A. Rogers, that was my Superman the Man is one of my favorite books.
Oh, that's one of my favorite books too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So we get into that discussion, inspired and all that. I say, man, we just need the real information going to push us forward, though, and protect our families at the end of the day, and move us in a direction where we can control our food, clothing, and shelter. All right, real information, scientific literacy, going to do that. Remember, y'all, scientific literacy protects you against the charlatans that come amongst you.
It's a vaccine.
Scientific literacy is a vaccine.
Against stupidity and gullibility and naivety.
Shit. So
you got to keep coming though, man, because you're growing though, man. You got to keep coming with it.
Grow back, watch. I'm gonna seriously grow. But we're gonna put this campaign out here, man, for y'all to support this project we coming with. We got to put this out in the generations, and it's got to be able to go around the world. All right, got to have a serious documentary, and you know, if people support it, we're gonna have that. But man, we got to get the hell about this AA shit, AAA shit, man. We got to get up on the big league. We're gonna need publishers. We're gonna need people to contact the Breakfast Club and all that to get on there. We gotta have our views up. So when they come, you know what I'm saying, to look and see if it's worth us going there, right? Hey man, look.
Hey, let me tell you something good. I'm gonna tell you something good about what you're saying. This is the angle that you have to go. And I had a friend who works for ABC, and I was going to bring this to him. Actually, I never told y'all. But your key is Wujaro and y'all and Medonetter. A group of brothers in the hood teaching and studying Medonetter. That's your key to get on the show. That's impressive to people, that a group of brothers in the hood know how to read the hieroglyphs. That's a rare thing. That's the story someone needs to bring you guys in on.
I like that. I like that. Hey, with that statement, y'all, we out, man. Black African power, man. Hey, remember, a well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time, man. But check this out, man. God damn it, man. We're going to organize that truth, y'all. All right, family, man. Appreciate that support. You know what it is, man. Damn, somebody mess something up? What'd you say? Master Bullet.
Yeah.
What are they talking about, man? All right, man. Let me get y'all out of here for y'all start acting up and get me involved in another 10-hour conversation. Got a whole lot of different names busting up over here.
I'm talking about.
Bang. Yeah, all right, man. We out of here, family, man. Peace.
Peace.